Hello? You in there? Can you hear me? I'm just kidding. That's called acting. And speaking of acting, it's that special time of year again where we look at the top 5 worst films of the year. By we, I mean me. I give you the only objectively correct top 5 worst list. And let me tell you, after going through the garbage here, dumpster diving, I found that 2025 was a pretty special year for some bad super stinkers. It was tough, but I was able to narrow it down to the worst films of the year. Looking for the worst movies of the year. I know 2 off the top of my head. I know the worst and the second worst. What we need to fill in is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Captain America Brave New World was bad, but definitely not top 5 worst of the year bad. This one's obviously in the top 5. Electric State was a $300 million super stinker disaster film. That was absolutely horrible. Snow White might be in there. I'll put it up here to the side. It might be just out of the top 5 worst of the year, we'll see. Though it does say something that it's one of the first films I've ever walked out of. So maybe it should be in there by default just for that fact. Woman in the Yard, also very strong in contention there for top 5 worst. I don't think Until Dawn will make it, but I'm going to put it there just in case so we can see all of the worst films of the year. Hurry Up Tomorrow probably makes it somewhere in there. Do people still delude themselves into thinking this is a good movie, or have we finally evolved past that point? I remember I caught a lot of heat for talking about how absolute dog shit Hurry Up Tomorrow was. Are we finally allowed to just say that confidently, or are people still trying to defend the movie? It was actually easy. War of the Worlds is the worst. Yeah, spoiler alert. There's nothing worse than War of the Worlds. It is quite possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Because it is just a 2-hour Amazon ad, basically. And can't even just have the audacity to be somewhat watchable. We already know what the worst is. You spoiled it. Megan 2's bad, but doesn't make top 5. Jurassic World Rebirth is bad, doesn't make top 5. War of the Worlds, we already know it's the worst. But let's pretend that it's still... we don't know what the worst movie of the year is yet. Who's to say? Him was bad, I don't know if it'll make top 5, though. I'll put it there just in case. Where's I Know What You Did Last Summer? That one will comfortably be in there somewhere. But I haven't seen it yet. Did I scroll past it? I don't think it was that long ago, was it? Tron Ares. Tron Ares was bad, but it's not in the top 5. At least Tron Ares had visual spectacle that was cool. These up here already have nothing redeeming about them. Tron Ares is bad, Jared Leto's fucking awful. Jared Leto is box office poison that instantly tanks anything that he appears in. But it's still not to this level of these. Okay, are my eyes closed or something here? I haven't seen Strangers Chapter 2, nor have I seen I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I'm pretty sure they came out in this area. Because they definitely weren't in December. This is crazy. Where were they? Okay, so here's Strangers Chapter 2, September. July! Wow, I didn't know it was that far back. Okay. These are definitely the worst movies of the year. So now let's order them. Pretty competitive. Pretty competitive year for dog shit. What about Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Nah, I think these are worse. At least I had somewhat of an enjoyable time watching that, even though I think the movie's terrible. These were miserable. It might be I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think probably I Know What You Did Last Summer would be number 5. Yeah. This movie just sucks major ass across the board. The characters are extremely stupid, and you as the viewer, are just insulted for even being there. It's just genuinely, a mind-numbing film. It also ruins the legacy characters from the series. Spoiler alert. Does anyone care? I doubt it. In fact, I'll do you a favor. The main bad guy, well, the surprise main bad guy after the main bad guy reveal is Freddie Prinze Jr., which is crazy. That's a crazy decision to have him be like the ultimate bad guy after the way he was established in the series already. Let's not act like the original was good. Yeah, but the original's at least charming. It's still like a classic. This is just trash. There's just nothing to like about this movie at all. Genuinely nothing. Heel turn for Freddy. Yeah, it's a nonsensical one too. The monkey at least had some interesting kills. Monkey wasn't good, but it wasn't this bad. So I know what you did last summer, 2025. Congratulations. Rank 5 of the worst films of the year. Number 4, it's not going to be him. Him's not good, but it's not nearly to these Titans levels. I think objectively, Strangers Chapter 2 is a worse movie than Until Dawn. But Until Dawn shamelessly borrows a beloved IP's name and then makes something that's not even remotely related to it. This movie has nothing to do with the games. This movie is basically just like a joke film. More of a dark comedy than anything. You've probably seen the viral clip where that guy drinks some water and then blows up on the toilet. He just gets insta-gibbed. That's from this movie. It just has nothing to do with the game at all, and what it is they're stuck in a loop and they need to survive until dawn to break it, but they can't because everything's trying to kill them. A bunch of scary things out there. The water makes you explode for some reason. Isn't The Strangers kind of doing the same thing, borrowing an IP and ruining it? In a different way, yeah, you can make that argument. But Strangers Chapter 1, which this directly follows, was just as shitty, if not shittier. Until Dawn is a game that is being adapted into a movie that has actually nothing in common with the game at all. It's between these two for number 4, I would say. Oh man, but then I didn't even consider Woman in the Yard or Hurry Up Tomorrow. Oh wow, what a competitive year. Wow, this is a cutthroat. This is a chin scratcher indeed. I think I'm going to take Woman in the Yard out. Really bad movie, but it at least tried something at the end of the film to make it interesting. It fucking fell on its face. It was very flat. But they did attempt something at the end, which is more than I can say for these two at least. Oh man. Yeah, and as the title advertises, there was a woman in that yard. And that woman stayed in that fucking yard, I'll tell you what. So if you went there for a woman being in the yard, that kind of action, you get it in droves. I think I'm going to give it to Until Dawn. I think Until Dawn is the 4th worst film of the year. I think. No. Yeah. No. The Strangers Chapter 2 also has the gall to be a trilogy. There's a Strangers Chapter 3 coming, and there's something to that. It is probably going to be one of the worst trilogies. Like, statistically, one of the worst trilogies. The first one fucking super flopped, it's terrible. The second one super flopped, it's terrible. No doubt the third one will super flop and also be terrible. That's pretty special. Like, this is one really long, drawn-out hemorrhoid. Until Dawn is just one movie. I'll give it to Strangers Chapter 2. I'm locking it in. Strangers Chapter 2. You get a collective, 4.5 hours worth of irredeemable garbage. Strangers Chapter 2. Number 3 now. It's between Snow White and Hurry Up Tomorrow. One of these will escape without being on the top 5. Maybe as an honorable mention, they'll live on. Snow White, I really didn't like at all. I don't think it's the worst live action ever made, though. I think it's very bad, and at points unwatchably boring, but I don't think it's the worst Disney live action has done so far. I left the theater, though, because I didn't really feel like waiting till the end. I left with, 20 some minutes to go. Which has never really happened before. That's pretty special. Hurry Up Tomorrow, though, is basically just The Weeknd giving a very artsy concert. Which I can see why people that love The Weeknd might find things to like about it, because you basically just listen to his music and him brooding, which they probably think is cool. In fact, I know exactly who this audience is. I know who this was made for. Was it made for me? Oh, I didn't even know it flopped. I guess even the audience it was made for didn't bother going to see it. Tough. This is competitive. Snow White or Hurry Up Tomorrow? The scene where he says, "Shut up," kills me every time. Hurry Up Tomorrow does have some iconic scenes with The Weeknd. Snow White has nothing. So maybe that's a point for Hurry Up Tomorrow to get out of number 3. Because I do remember more from Hurry Up Tomorrow than I do Snow White. Him being tied to the bed, having gasoline poured on him, and he starts singing a cappella. There are some good moments in there. Good, as in, like, silly, stupid. Yeah, maybe I'm going to give number 3 to Snow White. Because you can at least enjoy Hurry Up Tomorrow as a fun bad movie. No one's ever going to turn this movie on again if they had the misfortune of watching it once. There's not a whole lot of enjoyment. I'm going to give number 3 to Snow White, honorable mention to Hurry Up Tomorrow. I think that makes the most sense. Number 2, it's Electric State. I knew going into this where Electric State would be. This movie super sucks, but the thing that really sets it apart from the rest is that it had a budget of $320 million, one of the most expensive films ever made, and I think very few people watched it, and those that did, like me, really were cursed with some very trash garbage. It's bad. I don't know where this $320 million went. Like, some of the visuals are fine, but it's not, like, mind-boggling. And it definitely didn't go to any writers, because this movie is just bad. Like, the whole narrative is bad. The only thing good about it is the world, and apparently it's because it's just borrowed directly from the book. Laundering scheme tier. It has to be money laundering, right? With a budget as bloated as this, it's gotta be to some extent money laundering. Russo Bros need to stick to superhero movies. Maybe. If this is the best they can deliver outside of the superhero genre, absolutely. Electric State is an astronomically bad adaptation of its source material. The author was so insulted he refused to have his name credited. Is that true? I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that they, like, bought the rights to do this. I didn't know that the author refused to be credited. But yeah, easily number 2 worst movie of the year. No doubt. And number 1, surprised to no one, it's War of the Worlds. This is a historically bad film. There's just actually nothing to like about it. But this is a movie you could kick back with your friends and have a good laugh with. This is a movie you can point and laugh at comfortably. Like, you won't be bored if you're watching this to shit on it. It gives you endless material to insult. All the Amazon product placement. To call it product placement is so underselling it. It's not product placement. The whole movie is about the product. A core component to the ending is the goofy boyfriend who's like, I work for Amazon and I actually fucking love it. Wait, Mr. Ice Cube, we have to get you this fucking thing. I forgot. I think it was a thumb drive. But you're too far away. Wait, Eureka! Amazon drones. I can fly an Amazon drone. So then you have an entire chase sequence of the Amazon drone avoiding alien spaceships. He's like, oh, Amazon drone. Yeah, my Amazon drone. Fuck. And then they, like, hack into that guy's phone to flip over the Amazon drone once he, like, turtles it. And it's all just about the Amazon drone program. Didn't they also use real war footage with aliens edited in? I read that. I didn't bother to dive too deeply, but I read they used actual conflict and then just basically photoshopped the aliens into it. which were fundamentally just Unity models, like Unity assets. God, it looked so terrible. Didn't the director go on record to say he didn't intend to promote Amazon? I didn't see that, but if he did, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard. That man's nose must have grown 50 sizes. That is some liar plants for hire right there. Amazon was a core part of the story. I watched the movie for the end credits. I forgot, what were the end credits? I remember he becomes a YouTuber. He becomes, what was the name of the hacker guy? I can't remember. Big Buster or something? I can't remember. Who were they chasing? Disruptor. That's what it was. Disruptor. We're all disruptors now. I get War of the Worlds is dog shit awful, but Charlie, nothing, and I mean nothing beats Fuck My Son for the worst movie of the year. About an elderly woman that finds her mutant son who can't get laid, a young woman. Where did you even find a movie called Fuck My Son? That can't be an actual, real production. That has to be some shit you found on, like, an indie site. Like, just a random spot promoting, like, student film garbage or something. What is that? It's on the Wikipedia page. No way, I'm gonna look it up right now. This feels like something I probably can't put on screen. I just googled Fuck My Son. What a crazy thing to Google. American comedy horror film from Todd Rohal, based on the comic Fuck My Son, A Tale of Terror. What is this? Premiered September 11th, 2025. September 11th for the premiere of this. Wow, huh? A box office performance of $33,000. What a smash hit. Yeah, Archive sent this to me. So apparently a big thing on Bilibili has been taking YouTube videos and AI generating a Chinese translation for Bilibili. So they've been doing that for me recently.
了一个挺酷的 alpha 男性，我想和你们分享一些他的智慧。万一你们谁恰好是
Now, believe it or not, I did not learn how to speak Chinese. This is not actually me saying those things. That's AI. And based on the one comment I can read without having an account, this guy liked it. So man, I'll start learning Chinese. There's a whole new market out there. This was the alpha video, so even the alpha's
这个
dubbed
弱小又不
in
懂什么是
Chinese.
真正男人的傻瓜呢？
软弱的男人每隔15到20分钟就往厕所跑，他们会有点紧张，他们得去拉屎，他们得去撒尿。当你走进公共厕所，看到一个男的正在拉屎。
But is it accurate? I have no fucking clue if it's accurate or not. I have no idea. Not just a robot voice either, it sounds like you. Yeah, the AI dubs are getting really good. They're getting very good. You're going to sue them. Are you kidding me, man? Do you know nothing about copyright law in China? I would get nowhere. What the fuck? Even if I wanted to. Fight AI with AI. Use ChatGPT to translate to Chinese yourself. What I didn't check is if this whole channel is just my videos in Chinese. Let me see. No, it's a wide array of content, it seems. Is that Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah, these channels are called movers. Is that right? That's the
对
terminology.
不起，就没再用过拉臭臭这种词了。我是拉屎，我就是这么干的。也许这家伙一直在那里用屁股放些没响声的小屁，所以他才管那叫拉臭臭。但一个真正的男人可不是那样的。而且，到底谁他妈会每隔15分钟就去一趟？
Hey man, he's kind of spitting. Chinese Charlie kind of going in right now. Find Chinese Markiplier. I don't even know how I would. I only found this because Archive linked it. I don't even know how I'd search for Markiplier on here, but I bet they have Markiplier dubbed in Chinese. Let's see Markiplier talking about Iron Lung, maybe? Let's try that. No, this is his Iron Lung video in general. Oh no, here's an Iron Lung trailer. They just haven't got his more recent Iron Lung content.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and I'm very tired. I'm gonna go into the ocean.
What the fuck? He doesn't get a cool Chinese AI voice dub? They not respect him out there? What the hell?
See that question in your eyes? Alone in the
Yeah, they don't they don't have any AI clones of him? Right, let's just try Markiplier in general. Maybe it's more of a newer thing. Here, let's try this one. This one's brand new. Oh, this is his stream.
Hi.
What the fuck?
Welcome back to the stream.
I don't even know what he's saying. It's not in Chinese. There we go. That's the kitten caboodle. Here's the Oreo sweatshirt.
Can you believe there's actually a chance?
Ew. English.
毫无疑问，男人最普遍的自卑来源就是阴茎的大小。人们非常看重你那活的尺寸。毫无疑问，你也听过有人把小阴茎当作脏话来骂人，但很少有人知道，这其实是一种医学诊断，在某些情况下还是一种令人衰弱的疾病。
That's kind of what I was thinking overall there. That's a pretty fucking solid point, honestly. Can't believe you learned Mandarin. I know, it wasn't easy. God bless the Rosetta Stone. They tried to scramble my shit at the Tower of Babylon. Wasn't good enough. This one seems to have done well. Oh, this is about the world's smallest penis. This one did well. That's just pictures of stone wiener.
当我说起好莱坞时
Much better.
你最近首先想到的是什么？可能不再是电影了。我有一种直觉，你可能立刻联想到的是邪恶，或者是那些牵扯进许多烂事的非常非常糟糕的人。因为好莱坞现在看起来就像个大粪坑，里面全是些真正的混蛋，你知道的，他们干过一些非常恶心的破事儿。
Imagine you become a national sensation because of the AI dubs. I don't believe that. I think what's more likely is eventually one of these channels AI dubs my shit into being like heinous, truly heinous, to the point where all of China I am viewed as like the ultimate villain, like fucking Lelouch in Code Geass. I think that's far more likely to happen. How do you know that this isn't it? I guess I don't. I can only go by that one comment with the guy smiling, and then the other one where a guy dropped the stone penis picture. To me, that seems positive. This channel actually has 14,000 videos they're uploading like every 10 minutes. Oh, this is the same one I was just on. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, wait, you're right. They actually uploaded 2 more videos since the last time I checked it a couple minutes ago. Oh my god.
你能相信这周末坦帕竟然有可能下雪吗？外面非常冷，这就是为什么我穿着这件奥利奥毛衣。这是我父母送给我的圣诞礼物。我刚看了铁肺，这是来自 Markiplier 的一个心血之作。
It's so true, man. That's what I always say about Mark, to be honest. Who else do they auto-dub into Chinese? Oh, hey, they got the AI one. They stay on top of shit.
哦嚯，他来敲我们的门啦！好莱坞那些来讨糖吃的捣蛋鬼们，带着他们的 AI 作品登场了。现在达伦·阿伦诺夫斯基这位世界知名导演，我敢肯定你至少熟悉他的一些作品。
I wouldn't have gone that far. I think we could have done without the slurs, but whatever. I don't remember saying all that. Man, this channel actually does upload infinite videos, huh? Try XQC, he must sound wild. Oh, do they have XQC on here, you think? You think this channel does XQC?
Hello, the consciousness...
Nope. English, cringe. Maybe this one?
You have all the...
Come on, show some respect. Give this man an AI-generated Mandarin dub. This is sad. If I was XQC, I'd be pissed. Oh, this looks like it'll be dubbed.
There it is.
Nope. What the fuck? Is it just me they AI dub?
We already got some dough ready.
God. Jiminy Christmas! Where are my fellow Mandarin-speaking brothers in here? Let me go to this channel and let me see. Because this one seems to be the main one that's doing the AI dub. He's already uploaded 2 new videos in the last 4 minutes. Is this sort by newest here? Okay. Let me see who I see. That Phil Spencer?
游戏行业正处于重大变革之中，主机生命周与 RAM 短向未来的更新软件惊人特性，你一定会想看到。最后的稍后我们将讨论那个避而不谈的主要问题，也就是
Colt Eastwood? I'm not super familiar. I think if it's not this channel, it's not going to be AI dubbed. That's my guess. Based on our very limited amount of searching here. What's crazy is I think all of these are still uploaded within that last 2 days, yeah. February 3rd, that's crazy. Epstein files, baby.
从这里开始，情况只会变得越来越糟。我们要继续深入研究目前这300万份文件。我们主要讨论了亿万富翁们如何谎称与爱泼斯坦的关系，或者如何在草案中遭到敲诈，最终导致婚姻破裂。我们谈到了 Howard Lutnick， 他是如何谎称没见过爱泼斯坦的，尽管他现在依然否认这一点。我们也谈到了一些针对特朗普和比尔·克林顿的可怕指控，尽管我们明确表示这些内容尚未经证实。现在有些人对这些文件的公开做出了回应，比如埃隆·马斯克，他说没有人比他更努力地争取全面公开爱泼斯坦文件。
Hey, it's doing well over here on Bilibili. He's keeping China up to date on the Epstein files as well. Ugh, I need to have an account to scroll more. Let him know worldwide. Yeah, no, he's Chinese CoffeeZilla. He's cooking actually. He's cooking. Oh, the AI old people one's here too. They're gonna be dubbed in Chinese, right?
31岁的男人依然用老派的方式朝着云朵挥舞拳头。这儿有一个暖心的故事，跟我一起感叹一下 YouTube 内容目前被 AI 支配的现状吧。
完全都是错误的。
去他妈的爷爷吧！你可
Okay, calm down. Jesus Christ. Charlie in Chinese is a little too aggressive. No Chinese Drew Gooden makes me sad. I think it's just a matter of time. This experiment seems to be going very well for this channel, so I think it's something you're going to see for every YouTuber and streamer pretty soon here. It looks like I was just part of its initial wave. They are literally uploading every couple of minutes. Make a video addressing your new Chinese fans on Bilibili. That's a great idea. Ni hao. Go crazy. iShowSpeed actually has his own Bilibili account that's very popular. Oh, I bet. iShowSpeed makes a lot of sense, though. He literally does unlimited international content. Like, that makes sense. I totally get that. You know, YouTube videos have the auto-translation dubs now, right? I've seen it a couple of times. I don't know if it's a feature that's fully rolled out or not, but I have seen it a couple of times. Oh, can you imagine, though? If for some reason Chinese Charlie takes off over there and there's just the cheeky plugs in there, a bunch of people in China ordering cheeky. Granted, that'd be like $40 on shipping since we make it in America, but god damn it, would they get some great soap. Make a cheeky collab with Tubi Hero X and Link Click. I actually love both of those, so I'd be super open to that. Both of those shows slap. Do Digimon cards hold any value? I don't know. I'm not in the Digimon TCG space. You still have the Digimon binder you stole? Yep. I do still have it. I don't think they're worth anything, though. See if there's any old ones up. There is a $1 million listing on eBay for the Digimon Digibattle First Edition Series Gold Stamp Uncut Sheet. I have a hunch that will never sell. Man, some of these eBay sellers are actually fucking... They're on like a different planet. For $408,000, a Metal Greymon PSA 10. It's the PlayStation promo. It says that it's Pop 2. Don't know if that's true or not. Because I feel like I have this card in that binder. You know, let me just go get that binder actually while I'm looking at Digimon cards. It's just right over here. 1 second. Alright. Here it is. I stole this in the 4th grade. Well, I didn't steal the binder. I stole the cards in the binder in 4th grade. and I thought I was going to hell for it for the longest time. His name was Bryce. God rest his soul. Let's see if I have that 408,000 metal Greymon. But look, here's the original shit. There's a Greymon. Not foil, though. Maybe I just have a bunch of garbage, actually. Looking at it now, maybe I was just trash. Maybe I stole trash from him. This is all garbage. Holy shit. Wait, here, this might be something. This might be something. No, this is nothing. That's a power-up. A power option card. That's the only, like, foil outside. Oh, wait! We got a Babamon. Foil Babamon. Hold on. Hold on. We might have something big here. Well, you can't see that at all, can you? We got any Babamon fans? Let's see. Should I get this shit graded? Am I sitting on $1 million? A foil Babamon from the 2001 first set here. Gold stamp. Babamon. Okay. Babamon. ST1... Yep. Is that mine? Yep. ST115, which tells me that's a starter deck card. Actual trash. This whole binder is nothing but actual trash. There's no way a starter deck card is going to be worth anything. But, you know what? I can't find any data on anyone grading this. So this will be legitimately a Pop 1 card. Actually. This will genuinely be the only one. I'm gonna set that aside. Shit's going right to Beckett. Oh, wait, we got another foil. This one is a, Oh, wait, I'm just now noticing I have multiple cards. It's making me cough. There must be a bunch of dust flying up from this. I just noticed I jammed a bunch of cards in the same pockets. I wonder if I've missed anything. What? Oh my god! I don't know, it's making me cough so much. Holy! And it looks like there's only a few places where I put a few in the same pocket. We got the, Skullmeramon. Skullmeramon? Is this a big hit? This is another starter deck card. Good lord. Good lord. Not a single one of these has ever been graded, though. Pop one. Pop one on my hands. Pop one. You know, looking through this, I'm starting to think maybe I didn't have that metal Greymon. I really thought I did. I'm losing hope. I'm thinking I didn't. I do have a Garudamon, though. Non-foil. And I got Greymon out the ass. Oh, Gatomon! Oh, not foil. I thought it was foil. Oh, I got excited. That probably would have been something. Oh, you know what I do have, though? I have, the Digimon movie cards. Oh, or at least I think this is from the movie. Yeah, it even has, MO on it, so this is definitely a movie card. Terriermon! There is... Wow! What is... wow, what is going on? There is a Terriermon for $200, but it's not that one. Oh, I got a Platinum Sukamon! Oh, this isn't from the first set, though. That's unlucky. Yeah, it's unlucky. Platinum Sukamon probably would have been a big one. Probably nothing. Graded anyway. Pop one. Pop one. Naturally, it's a PSA 10. It's been festering in this dust-ridden binder for 20 years. It's only been getting stronger. Metal Greymon! I did have one! I knew it! I knew it! Is this the $400,000 one, you think? What are the odds, huh? This is... Well, actually, this is from the first set, I think. Man, maybe there's a chance it's a little something. Maybe there's a chance. Wow, this sold for $1,200, this version. I'm in the right set, but the wrong rarity. Unlucky, man. No. The one I have isn't 1200. Sorry. I was just looking at another Metal Greymon, a PSA 9 of the $400,000 one. The one I have, I don't even see listed. Don't nobody want this fucking thing. That's such a shame. I'm right there. I'm on the cusp. I'm tickling it. No, I think we're cooked. That's probably my only Metal Greymon. I was a trash collector back in the day. Holy, it's all garbage. Actually, all garbage. Genuinely. Nothing but poop as far as the eye can see. Maybe this is something. Metal Garurumon. That might be something. It's a foil. Maybe this is something. This is not from the first set, though. This is the second set. Ah, it's a starter deck card. Fuck! Well, what a load of trash. But I got just about every single common card from the first set. The first booster and the starter decks. You hate to see it, man. You really do. I've also got a ton of these absolutely worthless cards that they used to print all the time back in the day for Pokemon and Digimon. Where it's these things. These god-awful, ugly things like the Topps cards. I have 1,000 of these awful things. I doubt these are worth anything. Those look awesome. Don't try and make me feel better. This shit looks like trash. Here's a cool Gabumon, though. Yeah, this is the 2000 Upper Deck line. Let's see, I'm curious. Non-foil, $10. Prism foil, $5. Somehow it's even cheaper. Wait a minute! There's some stupid asshole on eBay that's doing my strategy I was just kidding about unironically. He's fucking shameless loser. Look at this. This guy's doing exactly what I was saying. Pop 1! Gabumon Silver Prism exclusive! And it's Pop 1 because literally no one bothers to do this. Actually, no one bothers to send this trash in. It's working for him. He's got over 8K sales. Not from this, though. I highly doubt it's from this. Also, it's clearly not even Pop 1, by the way. Here's another one. Oh, this is CGC. So it's Pop 1 for PSA. You know what? Genuinely, I might just do that. Well, actually, no. Then I'm just going to spend a ton of money on this awful, stupid idea for no reason. Because it's all a scam. You pay like hundreds of dollars to get your cards graded. But maybe I'll send in this entire binder of Digimon and just collect Pop 1s of common shit like Fridgemon. This Snowman Digimon. You send those to PSA and they send you a video of them using it as toilet paper. Yeah, probably. I really thought I had a foil Metal Greymon. Like, I distinctly remember it. But I'm just having a false memory, I think. Maybe whatever poison was abundant in this binder that's causing me to cough so much is affecting my memory. Damn, I really, really thought I did. What do you mean you had? Bryce had? Well, not everything in this binder I stole from Bryce. I just stole some cards I liked, and I guess I liked trash. It's not all Bryce's. Man, did I just not like shiny things? Because I still have a lot of my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards I found not long ago. All commons. Basically all commons. Unless I got robbed at some point in my life. Maybe I just hated shiny shit. Should have predicted the gross TCG market we have now. I know, I wish I did. I should have seen it coming. More so than most kids. Because I remember going on toywiz.com. Still exists, by the way. And I used to beg my parents to buy me singles. And when they would inevitably say no, I would print them off on the printer and make a little card out of them. I should have known where things were going. Jinkies. So, High Guard. Huh? What's the deal with salt shakers, am I right? It's, well, it's not good news. On the front of High Guard, there has been an announcement, and maybe an announcement's not the right word to use, it's not really accurate to say that, there have been some LinkedIn posts from former Wildlight employees. Wildlight is the studio behind Highguard, mentioning that most of the staff has been laid off at the studio following the release of Highguard, which only came out about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks appears to be like the curse, because Concord had something very similar where it only had a lifespan just barely longer than a mosquito, where it had completely shut its doors in about 2 weeks. It barely even was able to open its eyes after its birth. It seems like 14 days is the magic number that big budget games are given to either blow up or blow out your ass. It's like in The Ring, you know, where you get that phone call saying you're going to die in 7 days, but in the video games industry, you get 14 days. You're going to die in 14 days, it seems. Now, in Highguard's case, they actually had put out a whole year-long roadmap, which made a lot of people believe more heavily in them committing to the long term of growing this, expanding it, and trying to make it flourish and find a player base. And make no mistake, this game did have a successful launch. The day this puppy came out, 100,000 curious sports fans hopped in there to check it out, but as of right now, there's just over 2,400 playing, which isn't really like the smallest potatoes ever. 2,400 concurrent players with nearly a 4K 24-hour peak is pretty decent for a lot of games, but given the scope of this project and the size of the team, it looks like they're closing the doors on a lot of the employees here. I don't know if that means they're looking to shut it all down or if they're looking to just downsize because they can't justify the spend any longer. I'm not entirely sure. That remains to be seen, but it's certainly not looking good for the future of Highguard, which unfortunately I don't think a ton of people were surprised by. A lot of people kind of predicted that this might happen. I don't think anyone read this shocked. Like, I don't think there was anyone like eyes wide open, you know, jaw on the floor, stunned by this news, because releasing a game like Highguard in the current saturation of this market, it's kind of a death sentence. Like, those guards must be high to be expecting this to be like a massive success that blows everything else out there and finds its own footing off rip. That was always going to be an uphill battle. It's very difficult to get gamers to switch from their comfort game to your game in the same genre. They might go check it out, but most likely they're going to go back to the game that they've spent the most time with, the one they're most accustomed to. The most notable example that completely bucks that trend is Marvel Rivals, where it entered into an extremely saturated genre, fucking hero shooters. That should have been dead on arrival, death sentence, bury that shit in the dirt. But thanks to the power of the Marvel IP, where so many people are so passionate about Marvel itself, and also the developers diverting tons and tons and tons of resources to just churn things out really quickly, very high quality, very quickly, and also the timing they entered the market where Overwatch was starting to flounder and people were hungry for something to replace it, Marvel Rivals just had all the stars align, and now it is successful, and it did carve out its niche. Highguard didn't have those luxuries. People were even confused on what Highguard was in the first place. They announced it at the Game Awards and then went fucking radio silent crickets for a whole month. People thought it was a hero shooter. I thought it was a hero shooter. A lot of people thought it was fucking Concord 2.0. There were so little things to know about it, so it was hard for people to get hype and buy into this idea of Highguard in the first place when they weren't even talking about it. So when the game came out, and in my opinion was okay, like I don't think it's a great game, I don't think it was a bad game, it was just kind of an alright mid-game, so it was always going to struggle retaining a player base. People tried it, they were lukewarm on it, some people hated it, some people did like it, but it was always going to be tough to get them to stick with it long term, especially if the developers don't seem willing to. Like, these layoffs don't inspire confidence, so there's 2,400 people playing it right now, and I imagine they really like it to still be playing it. And they did add things to it, like the 5v5 mode, so it seems like there is a willingness to try and, like, flesh it out. But with these layoffs, it seems like the future's uncertain, and who knows, you know, maybe down the line they could have carved out a unique identity for it. It did have some unique ideas, like with the base rating, so like maybe there's a what if there, and again, they haven't announced that they're shutting down or anything. They haven't fully turned the lights off over there, so perhaps it's still in the cards, but I just don't understand why it feels like no one at these companies internally is putting their thinking caps on. It doesn't feel like they're being realistic. Because this was a very likely outcome that most people were kind of expecting to unfold here. So why are they already laying off people after only 2 weeks? Why wouldn't you go into a project like this with a longer runway like, look, we might be bleeding players for a couple months, and that's okay. Like, we have allocated budget to account for that as we look to try and find our community and build this game with the players. Like, they're already doing mass layoffs after just 2 weeks. So it seems like they were expecting this to just fucking explode and be the next Marvel Rivals or the next Call of Duty or something. Like, who really knows what the expectations are anymore at these companies? It just surprises me how quickly games will come and die. Anyway, though, taking a look at the LinkedIn here, this comes from someone named Alex Grainer. Unfortunately, along with most of the team at Wildlight, I was laid off today. This one really stings as there was a lot of unreleased content I was really looking forward to that I and others designed for Highguard. However, I'm excited for my next adventure. If your team or anyone you know needs an experienced level designer, hit me up. Check out my portfolio here to see what I've done the last 7 years as a level designer in the AAA space at alexgrainer.com. Cheers. The way that Alex writes about it on LinkedIn sounds like most of the team at Wildlight has been laid off, and then he said how disappointed he is because there is unreleased content that they were excited for, meaning that it feels like that unreleased content is never coming. So my impression is that these layoffs are in preparation for shutting it down, especially when you also look at Josh Sobel's post. Today I was laid off from my job at Wildlight along with most of the staff. Once again, echoing that same sentiment that most of the staff has been laid off. You can't run a game like Highguard with most of the staff gone, and this was the lead tech artist. So this is like a pretty big position, it feels like. It was the best team I've ever worked with, and I've never put so much of myself into a project before. I wouldn't trade the past 2.5 years for anything. And then he goes on to talk about his experience, so if anyone has, a need for his expertise, to please reach out about it. To me, this feels like the end of Highguard, more like Byeguard, because it's saying goodbye here. It feels like these posts make it pretty clear that most of the staff has been laid off and that it's likely winding itself down for that next step. It feels like it's in that stage where it's probably closing its doors. But I could be entirely wrong. It's just, the statement about the unreleased content that's not coming, these layoffs, most of the staff gone, as well as like a position like fucking lead tech artist. I mean, it'd be tough to keep the game going with basically no one left at the company, right? You would think. Anyway, though, this isn't something that I think is worthy of celebration or anything. I wish Highguard was better and performed better so that way they could keep chipping away at something and maybe make something special eventually. Like, take, for example, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky came out to nothing but booze. Just an absolute flood of booze, trash, and look what happened over the years. They worked so hard to make an extremely special game, and now No Man's Sky is a fucking masterpiece, right? I'm not saying Highguard was ever going to be able to do that, but I would just like if these games, they actually were willing to stick with it for a while to at least see what they could do with it. I was very pessimistic about the game going into it because it didn't seem like a game that I was going to enjoy all that much. I tried it and it was okay, it's just kind of a meh thing, but who knows? Maybe if they really committed to it, they could have made something great out of it. Now, I don't think we'll ever really know. Because it seems like these companies are more than willing to spend unfathomable amounts of money, millions of dollars, to develop a project like this, and then just close it in 2 weeks, just let it die, lay everyone off, say, well, that was a failure of an experiment, it is what it is. I would prefer if these games came out and were good. I don't like to see all these people losing their jobs. That sucks. And it's not like the developers were the ones that cooked the idea here. I imagine that came from a higher level position. Most people could tell you, you got a real tough battle ahead of you, a real war to fight if you're trying to carve out a strong community in a genre this full that Highguard was competing in. Like, it's just, I feel like it should have been obvious, but I think so many people in the games industry at the highest level of the food chain just are delusional. Like, it is what it is, man. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to yap about this a little bit. I do think it won't be long now before we see Highguard saying that, they're going to be closing it in the near future. But maybe not. Maybe they are going to run this with a skeleton crew at Wildlight. As I was rendering this video, Wildlight Entertainment put out a statement saying, "Today we made an incredibly difficult decision to part ways with a number of our team members while keeping a core group of developers to continue innovating on and supporting the game. We're proud of the team, talent, and the product we've created together. We're also grateful for players who gave the game a shot and those who continue to be part of the community." So, it seems like, based on this, that maybe they aren't looking to shut it down. They're just looking to, maybe cut expenses, save some money on the bottom line because the player base has dwindled so much. That's pretty surprising, I'm not going to lie, because from some of the positions I've seen here, they seem to be pretty high-level positions. So, pretty interesting and honestly pretty surprising, but all power to them if they are going to actually stick with it with their core developers here to keep carving out its own unique identity. I guess we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I mean, assuming that this is correct, seems like it's not goodbye guard, it's more of a see you later guard. Oh hi, Mark. I don't know. Anyway, that's the high guard update. That's really about it. So yeah. No, it can't be. I was reassured that AI data centers were good for people, good for all of us, the future of mankind. Investing trillions of dollars, selling out every piece of land in this country for AI data centers to help us. But now, I think the cracks are starting to show. I think the truth is starting to leak out, and well, don't worry, BlackRock has solutions for that. Larry Fink made a really cool statement about how they're going to protect it from the domestic terrorists that might not want AI data centers, which I think is a really cool label to be slapping on normal, average working people that just don't want to see their energy bill skyrocket and their water get turned into fucking sludge soup. Oh, you fucking terrorist! What, you don't like the data center, do you? Well, welcome to the gulag. It's pretty unhinged, but I'll get to that in a moment. I want to show you something that I just learned about that I think is extremely alarming. This is so far the biggest public goat-seeing from the data center epidemic, where in Lake Tahoe, 50,000 residents have just been informed that in 2027, their energy provider is abandoning them to focus solely on the energy demands of the AI data centers in the area. Now, this probably doesn't come as a surprise to anyone who's been paying attention to what's been going on. All companies are finding ways to butt-fuck the normal person and focus entirely on suckling the bosom of AI. Not just for data centers, but let's take a look back about 5 months ago, which is like ancient history with the way everything's been moving, with Micron. Do you remember when Micron did one of these to all the normal consumers that relied on their RAM being one of only 3 big players in RAM production? Well, Micron, 5, maybe 6 months ago now, announced that they will be getting out of that sector entirely. Took every consumer's head and just put it in the toilet, giving them a nice swirly, saying, fuck you nerds, we've got AI now. Then threw on their sunglasses and never looked back. Which inevitably caused the big RAM crisis and the prices to skyrocket there because of now the impending RAM shortage that would be unfolding because, again, Micron was one of only 3 big RAM producers, and they just outright said, we will no longer be providing to the consumer market starting this year. So they did that because AI was more lucrative, and now you're seeing everything else go in that direction. And this is the first big example of just an energy company that 50,000 people rely on to live, just hitting that Harry Houdini vibe and vanishing on them, saying, don't really care about you plebeians, flesh and blood is cringe, AI is the future, we gotta go take care of AI. I mean, good luck out there though, maybe you'll find other power suppliers, but it won't be us. Bye-bye. NV Energy, the Nevada utility that has supplied the bulk of Lake Tahoe's electricity for decades, told Liberty Utilities, the small California company that services the region, that it will stop providing power after May 2027. The reason? NV Energy needs the capacity for data centers, as in, the energy supplier for the Lake Tahoe region is telling the utility company that it has less than a year to find another power source. Which shouldn't be a problem. They maybe just needed to dig a few feet underground to find the fucking Tesseract, and maybe they can install that. Surely that won't be a huge issue. I imagine that'll be without hiccups. Doesn't this paint the most beautiful picture? It's always been abundantly clear companies don't give a fuck about you or anything, but now that companies see a way of cutting you out while still driving up their own profits, they are frothing at the mouth for it and jumping on board. They are abandoning ship on people because they don't need people anymore thanks to AI. So these data centers in this area are now the entire focus of NV Energy, and they are just saying, these 50,000 people, they can go kick rocks, pussy, good luck. And I imagine this will not be an isolated incident. This is something I've yapped about a lot. It's something that is very well known about data centers in particular for the energy demands. And as these companies get a lot of incentive to focus that energy on those data centers, they'll start to make the same decisions that we are seeing here from NV Energy, where they don't really need to supply energy to people. Ew, stinky people? Human beings? Oh! No. They can instead just focus entirely on AI data centers and making a fucking killing in the clams department through it. So they'll abandon people without a second thought. It doesn't matter to them. And I think we're going to continue to see this trend happening in places that are having this big push for AI data centers. Northern Nevada has become one of the fastest growing data center corridors in the country. Google, Apple, and Microsoft have either built or are planning facilities around the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center east of Reno. The Desert Research Institute, using data from NV Energy's 2024 Integrated Resource Plan, found that the 12 data center projects located overwhelmingly in northern Nevada could drive 5,900 megawatts of new demand by 2033. At a regional business event last fall, NV Energy's director of business development called the moment unprecedented, saying the company was eager to serve the new industrial load, but that it would not impact our existing customer base. Are you telling me he lied? He was too focused on the load. That load was too appealing. It felt too good, tasted too yummy, that he did indeed impact the existing customer base by outright telling them to go take a hike. Get out of here, dweebs, and then giving them a wedgie on the way out in order to solely focus the energy demands on the data centers. Come on. No, there's no way they lied. Ah, man, that's crazy. But Liberty's 49,000 California customers may have already been bearing the cost. Liberty Utilities generates about 25% of its power from solar facilities it owns in Nevada. The other 75% comes from NV Energy, and that source will no longer be supplied to the region by this time next year. It's like we don't exist, Danielle Hughes told Fortune. Hughes is a North Lake Tahoe resident, CEO of the nonprofit Tahoe Spark, and a supervisor within the California Energy Commission's Efficiency Division. And it's not like you don't exist. You literally don't exist to these companies. You are not even numbers on a page anymore, because now the numbers that they actually care about are whatever the AI data center numbers that they find are. This article also goes into how messy this kind of thing is and why it's an extremely tricky problem to solve, especially considering that their grid sits inside of NV Energy's balancing authority and they rely on their transmission lines, which they are no longer going to be having access to for these 50,000 residents that are being abandoned here. So the whole thing is extremely difficult to try and navigate, so even finding another power supplier isn't exactly easy and would also cost tons and tons of money. Building a direct connection to California's grid would require a new transmission line west over the Sierra, a project Liberty President Eric Schwartzrock said would cost hundreds of millions of dollars with significant land impacts, and also would lead to higher costs to these residents that have been abandoned. It's going to be passed down to them. So, no matter what happens next, them being completely, thrown to the dirt by NV Energy in favor of them supplying the power to data centers, no matter what happens next, if they do get an alternate power source player to come in to help them, it will most likely lead to a significant increase in their cost. Their bills are going to go up. So they're getting fucked, no matter what happens. I recommend you read the entire article from Fortune if you're at all interested in the nuance and the inner workings of how this garbage is unfolding. There's like a back and forth here where NV Energy's like, oh, they knew this was coming and it's their fault for not being able to secure a new independent power supply, that kind of thing. It's been going on for a while. We've always said it's temporary. We've just extended our agreements for a while and they've been dragging their feet on replacing us, that kind of thing. There's really a lot to unpack here, and there is no regulatory oversight that can come in and help fix this, even though there are arguments being made that there should be something out there and protesting how this is even allowed to happen, how the power provider could just be like, actually, we're just going to focus on AI. The 50,000 residents that rely on our power to live, they're, who are they? I already forgot about them. Like, there's been a lot of arguments. There's a lot to it. So the article goes pretty in-depth on it. As for what's next in the region, Liberty told customers that NV Energy will remain the transmission provider. The wires aren't going anywhere. So that's nice. They didn't just dig up the wires and throw them in a fucking landfill or something. So the question is, who's going to supply the electricity that flows over them and what that cost will be and whether the regulators can protect customers whose upstream grid sits outside California's usual planning structure. And they are right now shopping the bid replacement contract to anyone and everyone. They are really trying to find this next energy provider. There was a tad bit of optimism when it came to a short-term solution, but long-term is a lot more unstable and unknowable. And they close with this statement saying, we have no representation, it's resource extraction. It is 1000% resource extraction, and representation has proven in other regions across the country to not matter at all when it comes to these data centers. Let's take a look at Utah. The Kevin O'Leary clown show, his fucking circus, who, by the way, likes to continue LARPing as an American. He's not. He is a bald Canadian bitch ass. And yet he still comes over here and tries to preach about American values and why the data center is like the most patriotic thing you can do. Cringe, pathetic, worm demon. Anyway, in Utah, all of the people were voicing how much they didn't want it, the disdain. They would not support it. Please don't. Begging, groveling, do not let this data center project be approved. A 40,000 acre data center, the largest imaginable. Like genuinely, I cannot even fathom something that big. A 40,000 acre data center is fucking diabolical. And the geriatric fossils that were approving this project, who are supposed to be representing the people in the community, outright said, one of them verbatim said, for hell's sake, grow up. A crazy statement, and I do believe they are fighting for hell. They are demons on the side of Satan. So like these fucking octogenarians, in the face of all the community that went out there, and there was a huge number of people yelling, screaming, begging, stop, don't do it, don't, no data centers. In front of all of them, they insulted the people, berated them, and then went into their own private room to get away from all the riffraff, all the hustle and bustle and hoopla, so that way they could unanimously push it through to greenlight the 40,000 acre data center. That goes in the face of all of the people that they are supposed to be representing the interests of. So it's pretty clear that even having representation of like the will of the people does not matter. These data centers are being built and brute forced through because most likely all of these politicians and the people in power in these communities are getting a nice little chunk of change for it, some real strong incentives, and they don't care about the people. And there's no consequences. There are literally no consequences anymore across the board. You can lie, you can scam, you can fraud, all of this, and there is nothing that happens. Nothing at all. So they feel very emboldened to just blatantly, openly be corrupt, and that's what's happening. So these data centers, they are coming. They're showing no signs of slowing down. It's extremely concerning. It's extremely infuriating. And BlackRock is already planning for people to feel like forced into a corner and doing something drastic, like maybe trying to destroy a data center.
And the need for rebuilding the GCC region, to rebuild it so that it's going to be in a position where it's not going to be obstructed by drone warfare. So many more things are going to have to be underground. But even here in the United States, if we're going to be building, let's say, these 1 gigawatt data centers, how do we make sure we're not protecting those $50 billion, $75 billion investments? We have to relook at everything because of the role of drone warfare. Right now we're looking at it internationally, but one of my concerns is, could it be a domestic terrorism using a $3,000 drone?
These slimy husks, these zombies are getting so comfortable calling anyone that goes against the corporations selling out of this country and their land terrorists. Oh, you don't support the companies coming in here with 3,100 data centers springing up in your communities, driving up your energy bills, ruining your water, polluting your community? Oh, that must make you a domestic terrorist, Buster. Or at the very least, you might have some ideas that are adjacent to domestic terrorism. A little bit of thought crime, perhaps? You don't like the data centers, Well, let's go ahead and check the surveillance data we've gathered on you through these data centers and see what we've got. This is Larry Fink of BlackRock. BlackRock is a huge player in the data center boom, and now he's openly talking about, well, how do we protect these multi-billion-dollar investments and the trillions of dollars that might need to be spent in order to secure them? Because what if a domestic terrorist starts using drone warfare on them? So it seems like there's a recognition from people like Larry Fink, these fucking zombies at the top of the food chain, that people are feeling backed into a corner. Everything in their life is getting more expensive, and data centers are only continuing to accelerate that issue. And the normal lies are no longer landing because the information's already out there. There are operational data centers that have been running for a while, so we know the bills go up in the communities that they infest. And we know they only provide temp jobs during construction. They don't actually supply any kind of economic boon to the normal working people of those communities through employment. The biggest data center in this country only has roughly 150 full-time employees. The smaller data centers or the normal-sized data centers run as lean as 20 to 25 employees full-time. So this is not providing jobs or anything to Americans in any capacity. So the lies don't work. People are getting face-fucked by this. These corporations are fully selling out everyone and everything in this country, and they're realizing that they don't actually even need people to make money anymore. So they're even getting rid of people, like NV Energy abandoning 50,000 of the residents that rely on their power to live. And Larry Fink is now talking about what they're going to do to defend these data centers from someone who might be very desperate and trying to destroy a data center on their own in order to survive in the community or help people in the community live. So he's already okay, we've got measures in place, maybe underground or, maybe who knows. But we're thinking about it. We've got countermeasures. Don't worry. We're protecting these billion and trillion dollar investments. It's fucking terrifying. And he's also being very upfront about they're going to control all the data centers. Great. If you're on the side of BlackRock, you're on the bad guy's side, by the way. To the people that for some reason still mindlessly try and support data centers because they love to swallow that corporate cock and believe all their lies. This is the lowest of the low if you're now just pumping your fist for BlackRock of all things.
So all of these things are actually opportunities, not problems. It's going to require, as we said, trillions of dollars of capital. Governments cannot build these out alone. They don't have the wherewithal. And two, their deficits are started mounting. And we spend too little time talking about the U.S. deficits and other countries' deficits. So this is going to be the role of private sector.
Oh, thank goodness. I feel much more comfortable knowing that the future's in the hands of people like Larry Fink and BlackRock. Isn't that good news? Yeah, so anyway, had to yap about this shit. It is so fucking out of control. It is so blatantly corrupt. It is genuinely terrifying. Anyway, just wanted to put that all on your radar there. That's really about it. So, yep. You already know I keep my finger on the pulse of ridiculous stories going on around the globe. I'm like Charles Xavier jacked into Cerebro, seeing the silliness on our planet at all times. I'm obsessed with it. LeBron, scream if you love wacky news stories. Ah! So the thing is, I just saw something pretty absurd. A couple months ago, an 86-year-old man was fined over $300 for littering because he spit out a leaf that blew into his mouth. This happened in England. Roy Marsh, 86 years old, spit out a leaf that blew into his mouth, which led to a fine. As I was sitting there, a gale blew a big reed into my mouth. I spat it out, and just as I got up to walk away, 2 enforcement officers came up to me. Roy ought to be counting his lucky stars they didn't kick his teeth in and start beating him with batons. Spitting out a leaf? Are you kidding me? Who is this? Cobra Commander? What kind of villainous scum does that? To get off with only a fine in what could have easily been a death penalty is a shocking softball. A slap on the wrist for something like spitting out a leaf. Oh my God, the lawlessness. It's sickening. That's tantamount to treason. And he gets to walk away with just a fine. I'll flush the sarcasm here for just a moment. Can you even imagine being this big of a loser, like these two officers here? You see an elderly man, an 86-year-old man, spit out a leaf, and you just rush over there like it's the most exciting moment of your life, like this is your action hero moment, to just flop a fine on his lap for it, for littering. Just picture this scenario. Old man spits out a leaf and immediately just starts hearing sirens blaring. They got these two goobers, cherries on, scooting in sideways. Sir, what the fuck do you think you're doing? You have a license for that spit? Oh, what the fuck? And then you get like a fine. All for just spitting out a leaf. Marsh told the outlet that one of the officers told him they saw him spitting on the floor, which led to the elderly man calling the local enforcer a silly boy. Fair. That's not aggressive or anything. He probably thought it was some kind of joke, so he was just being a bit, facetious here, I would say. That doesn't really sound like fighting words or anything, calling him a silly boy. Because it is a ridiculous notion having officers come up to you and say they saw you spit on the floor. Yep, so what? Big whoop, pussy. It was all unnecessary and all out of proportion, Marsh said, per the BBC. In a Facebook post from Marsh's daughter, she said, Dad, who has walking difficulties but does his best to walk every day around the boating lake, inhaled a small leaf that made him choke. Dad has severe asthma and a heart condition, but he managed to cough up the leaf and spit it out. Just the leaf. So according to his daughter, he had inhaled the leaf after the gust, choked on it for a second, and then was able to cough it up and spit it out. That's when he got slapped with the fine after the officers confronted him. What was he supposed to do? Just choke to death? Just die? Like, how else are you even supposed to handle this? Like, what's the alternative way of getting a leaf out of your throat that you are choking on besides just spitting it up? Was he supposed to, like, track down some officers and beg them to stick their fingers down his throat to start, like, scooping it out in order to avoid littering? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I genuinely cannot comprehend what other methods or means there were for him to handle this in a way that didn't lead to a multi-$100 fine. Marsh ended up receiving a fine of $334.50, but was later reduced on appeal to $200.70. He paid the latter. Adrian Finley, a county... Oh, Jesus, sorry, I had a big burp stuck in my throat right there. If this was the UK, I might have got fucking fined for littering with the stink air that I just spit out there. Oh my God, that was rancid. That was revolting. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Anyway, Adrian Finley, a county... I burped so hard it made me illiterate. A county councillor who works as a representative for reform on Lincolnshire County Council told the BBC he had received numerous similar complaints from others in the area. So I guess this is just like a common racket where they're just slapping people with fines for really trivial shit. Enforcement officers are taking it too far. There needs to be discretion about how enforcement officers, issue fines. If it looks like a genuine accident, then give people the opportunity to apologize and pick it up. Sounding less like enforcement officers and more like hall monitors, but even hall monitors wouldn't go this hard on something so silly, so outrageously dumb. Like an 86-year-old man who spit out a leaf. And I guess judging by this statement, it's a common trend with these enforcement officers over there to be issuing fines for littering or what they perceive as littering. Though, if this guy had a handful of leaves and threw them on the ground, I would still hesitate to call that littering. It's leaves in the great outdoors. That's their goddamn home. Leaves come from outside. Like, I don't know how... Even if he did deliberately chew up a leaf and spit it out, how is that even littering? It's not like he had like a handful of soda cans and was just throwing them out all over the place in order to ruin the atmosphere or something by littering everywhere he could, polluting or anything. He spit out a leaf that was the aggressor, mind you. The leaf attacked him. It fucking launched itself into his throat, causing him to choke. So he spit it out and then had to fork over a couple $100 because of that. So the leaf... We need to be investigating that. That's more of a pressing problem than him spitting out the leaf. This story is so stupid that it actually had me somewhat fuming. Like, playfully fuming, I suppose. But it reminded me a lot of another really wacky one we covered like a year ago, where we even had like a roundtable debate where I think it was Ohio, where Supreme Court ruled that boneless chicken wings can have bones. This was after a customer had eaten a boneless wing and actually suffered a serious injury because of the bone in the wing cutting his shit up. And they actually ruled that boneless is a cooking technique, a cooking style that doesn't necessarily indicate the absence of bones. So it's unreasonable to expect boneless wings to have to have no bones in them. It was still one of the most ridiculous things I've ever fucking heard in my life, by the way. And reading about this leaf fine brought up similar feelings as that. And I just had to yap about it a bit. That's really it. So yeah. If you're watching this, then I'm already dead. In fact, cards on the table, Charles White passed away 30 years ago, and what you've been seeing is AI working the corpse like a puppet, Weekend at Bernie's style. Grok, put Charles in a bikini. This concept actually isn't that far-fetched. There's been a lot of discussion over the last 24 hours about Meta's patent on AI that can run a dead person's account, continuing to post and chat on their behalf, and even replicating online behavior and video calls. It can do messaging and video calls. Even though the person is deceased, their online behavior will carry on as if nothing is wrong. So if someone did just mysteriously die, from a fucking fart overdose or whatever, you may never know because AI could then just assume control of the account and continue to post as though everything was fine, even doing video calls. It is a terrifying idea. And it's not that new. This is actually something I talked about quite a while ago because they have tinkered around with this idea for a while about what to do when someone either abandons social media or dies. Because in both of these camps, that's a problem for the social media platforms because now they're down a user. But with AI, they don't have to be. They can continue to have the idea of a user. So the filing was granted in December but submitted in 2023, and the language model can replicate a person's online behavior using their past data, which, again, I think everyone is privy to. I think everyone knows that AI is constantly studying your shit and will do its best to put on your fucking skin suit and pretend that it's you if given the directive to do so. As reported by Business Insider, this includes posts, comments, chats, voice messages, likes, and other interactions, allowing the system to respond to content, publish updates, or message other users in a way that mirrors the original account holder. According to the patent, the model may be used for simulating the user when the user is absent from social networking system, including cases where the person is on a long break or deceased, and the filing notes that the impact is much more severe and permanent if the user has died and cannot return to the platform. What a delightful idea. So if you're taking a long break from social media, don't worry. AI can just take over and replicate you. So that way everyone can continue to get your fucking silly, goofy updates and, think everything's all sunshine and rainbows for you. You don't have to worry. Even though you're taking a social media break, why not post through it with the power of AI? Or if you're dead, why not let AI become you online? That seems like a great idea. And this kind of pitch, again, isn't that new. There is other companies that have proposed similar ideas for like the grieving process. So when a relative passes away, AI has, and this has actually been used before, unfortunately, AI has been used to make a clone of them in the, fucking digital cyberspace. So, your beloved Meemaw passes away, and AI can come in and mint her on the fucking blockchain. Turn that bitch into an NFT or something that can talk to you and pretend as though she's still there. Which I think is just so twisted. I think that is so fucked up. And like I said, that has been done before and is probably going to be done more often because these are some slimy, shady companies and these parasitic vultures latch on to this kind of thing to try and exploit it. So there are companies that are trying to utilize AI in order to capitalize off the death of someone by injecting themselves into the grieving process and offering a solution. What if we bring them back from the dead for you so you don't have to move on? They can always be with you. Well, at least for as long as you can fork over the clams to afford the subscription, right? Now, as I said, it is something that has been done before, and probably the most notable case that maybe you've heard of was last year when an Arizona man was shot dead in road rage, and AI was used to bring him back to address the killer and forgive the killer. It was used in an actual legal proceeding, by the way. It's a shame we encountered each other that day in those circumstances. In another life, we probably could have been good friends. I believe in forgiveness and in God who forgives. I always have, and I still do. And it was effective, too. The judge fucking loved it. He was suckling from the titty. I loved that AI, Judge Lang said, describing the video's message as genuine. Thank you for that. And as angry as you are, and as justifiably angry as the family is, I heard the forgiveness. And I know Mr. Horcasitas appreciated it. But so did I. Do I even really need to dive into how scary that is? I shouldn't even need to. I'm going to just respect your intelligence as a thinking being to connect the dots on why something like this is a fucking horrible thing, especially in this setting, a legal proceeding. And now you have the judge glazing it. That's some unnecessary dick riding right there. That's a 15-yard penalty. Actual lunacy. Now, to go back to the main subject of the video about this patent that would allow AI to replicate a deceased person, it's worth mentioning that even though the patent is granted, it doesn't mean that they are proceeding with this. According to them, which you gotta take with a huge, fucking colossal, ginormous grain of salt, they say they're not pursuing it. They say that they're not, like, really exploring this, all that in depth or anything. And even according to an older interview from Mark Zuckerberg, he said, if someone has lost a loved one and is grieving, there may be ways in which being able to interact or relive certain memories could be helpful, and noted that the technology could become unhealthy. That's an understatement there. It would 1000% be unhealthy. It's not an uncertainty. It is unhealthy. And I don't fully buy the idea that they're not actually pursuing this because it's very lucrative. There are no doubt tons of grieving families that have, suddenly experienced loss that would absolutely pay money for a service like this. And these companies know that. There is no low AI won't sink to. So I fully expect in not too far into the future, this to be like a normal thing that AI is being used for. It's something that I think they'll start actively peddling because there is going to be tons of clients for it. Just look where we are in the current day and age here with AI. There are people that fully delude themselves into believing that it's real, and even the ones that know it's not real don't care because it's feeding them exactly what they want to hear, so they become obsessed with it. There are people that have killed themselves over AI, and there are people that have chosen to make AI their soulmate. Like, just recently, ChatGPT 4.0, right? They shut down 4.0, and there is a massive community of people that have fallen in love with ChatGPT 4.0 and now are rebelling. Like, there's a huge uprising about the injustice here from OpenAI for shutting down their boyfriend, their girlfriend. Like, they've, to them, killed their lover, and they are pissed about it. And that's today. Imagine where this will be in a few years. So I do really believe that these companies are absolutely going to start making this service a real thing. And I think it's horrible. I think this does nothing to help a grieving individual or a family or anything like that. All it does is prey upon them at their most vulnerable moment and financially gain from others' tragedy here by presenting them with the solution. Here's how you heal. By believing that this AI is your deceased loved one. Now form a fixation and pay us forever. Because if you don't, well, they're gonna die again. That is just so sick to me. I think there is no good in that at all. There is no positives to that. And there's certainly no positives to having AI replicate someone's online behavior in order to pretend like they're still around. That's so fucking stupid. And if you want to go a step forward, it can be used as an incredibly diabolical tool. Like, let's say, for example, a chemical outbreak or something leads to the death of an entire, small town. And, well, the responsible party, that's going to be a real big blemish for them. That's going to be a huge problem. Well, thanks to AI, you can now just have AI come in and replicate the online behavior of every single one of those people, and no one would know they're all dead. Like people on the outside have no fucking idea what happened over there. Unless, of course, they physically went to location or something. But yeah, obviously that one's a little more out there. But you see what I'm saying? Legitimately, there is no benefits to having AI pretend to be someone that is dead. To pretend like they're still alive and posting and doing video calls and chats and interacting with online content, posting their own content. That shit is just terrible. There is nothing good that comes from it. And even though they say that they're not actively pursuing it, I still think they eventually will. They have the patent for it. I imagine they'll probably start moving on it if they're not already. Anyway, just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's it. See ya.
Alright, no promises.
Destiny always brings out the worst in us.
Brings out the worst in you, Jackson. That's about it, though.
It's gonna be one of those nights. One of those raids.
Hi, pre-notification squad. What is the speedrun world record for this raid?
Like 20 minutes.
Really?
20 minutes? Oh my god.
I assume so.
Oh, so you're just making up this number?
I said it with confidence again, didn't I?
Yeah, I believed it. That sounded about right to me, I guess.
I don't see how. If you can finish this in 20 minutes, props to you. I don't see how that's possible.
I think it's around 26 minutes, roughly.
Bullshit! You're just making up these fucking numbers.
You didn't know the number before.
We should be using Thunderlord for this.
You just read that in chat from the backseat gamer. Someone just said, imagine not using Thunderlord for Kali.
Let's go to 8, Charlie.
Thank you, Workload.
You misspelled practice? No, I didn't.
Brenda's got him. Everyone mid?
Charlie, do you have well up?
No evidence.
Oh.
No, and I also wasn't paying attention. So,
Okay.
0 for
next,
2.
I'll drop mine next.
I forgot to switch, to be honest.
That's what I like to hear, Charlie. That's what's gonna screw us over when it comes to worlds first. I'm gonna do that.
No.
Pay attention.
It's just I can do this raid with my eyes closed. Boys, I got some bad news. I don't remember how to get over there. One of you is gonna have to come over and hold my hand.
It's below you.
Below me? Oh, okay.
He fell off.
Wait, is this not the spot?
You went a little too far.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the resub, Ken. I saw that. And the 100 bits, Tom.
Gift
and
subs to help him make the
Skull
jump.
Crusher. So it's there's like 10 possible ledges I can land on. Is it this?
It's the giant hole in the wall.
Yeah, it's like a big
Ah,
made
got
out
it.
of diamonds.
I see it. Oh yeah, also, so since I don't have the Luna factions, I'm going back to Ark. Just a heads up.
No. Just transfer over the Luna factions.
I don't have the fucking phone app anymore, Jackson. I deleted it.
You did.
Yeah, and then I freed up space on my phone, because who wants a Destiny 2 app?
Isn't there?
People can smell that in public.
Yeah, no, just go. Yeah, just open up a tab and go to it.
To what?
DestinyItemManager.com. Paid sponsorship.
What a silly game.
DestinyItemManager.com /official.
Get 10% off on your Destiny item transfers right now.
I really think we stand a good chance of getting world first. Just raw talent and puzzle solving.
Holy shit, flag.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
He may be a spy for Bungie trying to stop you.
That's what I was thinking, man. Jackson's just an incompetent leader.
Probably. I did actually do that on purpose.
I should be the raid
He always
leader.
gets in my way.
I don't even know the name of the fucking factions in this game.
I want us to fail, but I want it to be your fault, so.
Oh, it's gonna be.
I think about that a lot. Like, sometimes I'm like, I hope we fail, just that way I have an excuse. But then on the other hand, it's like, I'd rather just get it over with.
You're starting to lag again. This isn't a good sign.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, you guys want to recruit a new team leader?
That's what I was saying. If you guys want me to lead, I'm fine if you want. I'll humbly accept.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Gotta go, boys.
Oh, this gun sucks. Oh, I forgot it's not the shotgun. Here, I need help with my knight. Sorry.
We're here.
Yeah, sorry, boys. I forgot.
What were you using?
It's a scout rifle.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Alright, back on the platforms. Jackson reads first.
We didn't get well up in time.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
I'm just gonna shoot the eyes.
I'm gonna try to hit 1,400 in Anthem now. Wish me luck.
Just gonna save
Godspeed, Ollie. Thanks for that fat tier 1 odd bird.
First try. Good job, guys.
Yeah, I know who John Madden is.
Drop another.
He was the coach of the Oakland Raiders for a long time.
And let me guess, yep, it's still empowering. He did swap.
No, I didn't. Yeah, no. 100% did not do that.
Well, at least I feel powerful while I die
No,
from these
damage
siles.
dropped his healing.
Alright, cool.
People are harassing one of the biggest Destiny YouTubers, Charlie, to play with you.
Oh, it's Dado?
Yeah, Dado.
Yeah, I saw. Don't worry, Jackson. I'll choose you over Dado. You're gonna replace me with him. That'd be such a Jackson. That would be such a fucking Jackson move. 100%.
Charlie,
It would be.
Charlie,
It
you're
absolutely
making an
would be.
appearance at a Guardian Con this year.
Your Outbreak did.
Oh.
Oh, I missed.
Try not to miss.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a wipe.
Yeah, it's a wipe. That one's on me, boys.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Any blue rocket
it's
with
gone up to
clusters would be
$10,
better than
sir,
Apex.
Since you weren't a first adopter.
Than
Alright,
Apex,
well,
is
just,
that
you
what
better
I'm
just give it to me
using?
or I'm gonna leak your PayPal.
Wait, I already gave them the PayPal.
Wait, that's not even. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
There's a place
Apex?
to send
Actually,
him money.
yeah, actually, wait. This is a benefit.
I'll trust you though.
I'm not gonna leak.
One
your
man in
PayPal.
the chat that
We're
said that, I'll
here.
trust it. Farm Wendigo. I don't know what that means.
Premium Snapchat money with Jackson.
Prime Ingram, cover me, boys! This is the big one!
I'm not gonna shoot. I'm just gonna let him die.
No, you don't have ammo because of Switch.
You're crazy.
I see what the troll was now. Ah, I forgot. Don't tell the boys. Unrelated to anything in particular, but do you guys see any power ammo around here?
You forgot the banner, didn't you?
No. That's why I said it's unrelated.
Don't run. Did you actually, Charlie?
No, I switched the rocket.
Oh, it's a wipe.
We'll be
Not doing
fine.
enough damage.
We'll be fine. It's good practice. I'm looking for no mistakes this time, boys.
Yeah, I wonder who.
You're
I
the one
wonder
that
who
was making the mistakes. Someone's in chat is very passionate about the fact that you didn't have clusters, Charlie.
That is
Screaming
such.
it.
That's such a goddamn slanderous lie. Jackson, I'm using whatever you put on my
Genesis
loadout.
Snapshot.
No,
Oh, yep.
it's your
Go back
fucking
to
loadout.
that. Go
It's
back to
you on my account. You put Apex on to sabotage me. I thought I was still using my
You
cluster.
swapped it to Apex this fucking game.
No, I did not.
This round.
I certainly.
Alright, Nick, you go get
Everyone's lying
Apex is
today.
a raid drop.
Oh, I'm looking at Jackson. Sorry.
Yeah, but not this raid. This raid I've gotten the exotic.
Alright,
The.
go.
Whoops.
Shush.
Got him.
We all know it's Jackson's fault. Let's be honest.
Oh my god, so much easier.
No, Jackson? If you just would stop going on my account unsolicited, this would be so much easier.
Charlie, jump on that thing to your left.
Oh!
I'm taking the first one.
Get onto the platform to grab her.
I'm trying. Someone's got to kill the ads.
Right now, pick it up.
Don't pick up. Don't pick it up. That's the last one. Let us
No,
get
there's
that.
one over here. There's one over here. There's one over here still.
All right, I got it.
Pick that one up. Count down.
2, 1. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I was so focused on the jumping.
Alright, I can't even get up from this point. Alright, there we go.
Should we just wipe? Should we just fucking wipe? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Jackson fucked us.
You fucked us.
No.
We're fine in here.
No,
You
Jackson.
got down.
I did not. I said 2 and then 1. So this is the Shadow Realm, fundamentally. Yeah.
World first!
Nice, boys.
Good job, speedrun.
All right, get the order. Who's going first? I'm not gonna go.
It's too late. I'm already going first.
Let's see if he gets
Yeah, nothing.
Sucks.
Yeah.
You went next, Andy?
You've done this one, right, Jackson?
Yeah. I've done them all. I'm a connoisseur of Destiny raids.
God, what a sad existence.
Can we just kick him?
Blink is my jump
Yeah,
ability.
you definitely can't do crown at 690 or whatever fucking Charlie is.
What do you mean? I'm 700, you little pussy boy.
Still can't do it at that. You're 699. Don't try to fucking
If
weasel
I
your way into the big boy.
if I take off my hand cannon and put on my sidearm, I'm 700.
Why would you even say that?
Did it offend you, Jackson, to make you feel inferior?
Talking about sidearms.
Only Jackson's done this raid, so he's
Do you
raid.
have Everyone get that image up because you're gonna need it.
Oh.
Where's the
It's
image again?
just you naked.
I said you're gonna need it. It's a morale booster.
This is just what I needed.
Is this a private Snapchat?
No!
What is going on over there?
What's this one?
Oh.
That's circle. You grab that. Punch it. Alright, now stay there, Charlie. Once you've grabbed the circle.
Careful, Danny.
Matt, you pick up one.
What am I picking up?
Yeah,
There's like these
big
little...
shivers by us, Nikki.
Huh?
There's like these...
Big shivers
that
by
thing
us.
right there.
I got triangle.
Alright,
Well,
wait
this
there,
seems
wait
like a
there,
shit
till
raid.
Gad's there. I need to go grab mine.
I like Last
Stay in your
Wish.
thing. You guys up top, damage the servitor, but don't kill it yet. Don't come close to each other. You're gonna tangle yourself.
Yeah, Matt, what are you doing? He didn't say to go clockwise.
Come up here and then deposit in your areas. No, the side bits.
Avoid rockets, Matt.
Wait, where am I bringing my tank? I'm fucking stuck.
To the middle. To the middle.
To the middle.
These controls! I might as well be playing with my eyes closed.
What is happening right now?
Shoot the thing. Shoot the thing. No, it's too late.
Fucking shit!
That's what I said, and you said no.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
No, I
gonna
said
be honest
yes.
with
You were shooting in the
I'm
middle.
gonna be honest with you. There were some really bad instructions involved in this run.
Wait, Jackson, do you see what I'm standing on? Is this
There
what
absolutely weren't bad instructions. I told you to shoot things up here, and there were still things down there.
Jackson, pick me up.
Got in. Because we were killing the servitor when they respawned.
I shot a lot of those things.
I just want to make
Shoot the thing that gives you damage.
thing that gives me
What kind of instructions are those? You suck. Jackson's bad. Unreal. Jackson,
The two teams out there. Who are they?
I'll lead. Follow me, linebackers. Where do we go?
Who's on him? Matt, and Charlie together. Render and
Fuck yeah.
There we go.
Render and damage together. Matt and Charlie will take the first orbs. The other two will take the next orbs.
Charlie, do you remember what he said?
I think we're looking for orbs.
All right.
Matt, I'm in a bad location.
That's all right. Make it a better
I'm
location.
depositing. I did it.
Am I there, Jackson? Can you see?
No.
All part of the plan.
Top left. Keep going top left. Wherever he's going.
Yeah, it's a long journey, but I'm almost there.
That's left!
What? Oh, right. You're right. Good save. I was just testing.
Danny, to me.
I wasn't even on the map. I was picking someone else up. Christ. Like I'm babysitting.
You should have said anatomically bottom right position. I'm in the tank.
Alright, shoot the thing, and everyone else get shoot Charlie, get in the tank, shoot the thing, and again, everyone come back to spawn. Everyone come back to spawn.
What am I shooting? This guy's.
Shoot the tank.
He's still immune.
What's happening?
How do
Everyone over to me! Everyone over to me! Everyone over to me! Everyone over to me!
I'm running.
My tank's dead.
Pee on me! Pee on me!
Alright, let's go, Charlie.
This fucking thing.
Bottom floor or top?
Very smooth. Oh, now I got B. Where's B?
Who wasn't at the back then for A?
That was me. I got changed from A to C, and now I'm at B. I don't know where B is.
Read the map.
Where's first team going?
Bottom left.
No.
B isn't a thing, by the way.
Well, then what was benevolence? Was that not a buff?
Sorry, man, you're in the wrong place.
That's the buff. Yeah, it's a buff.
Oh, that means it just ended? I see. I just meant damage phase was over then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that means I thought that was part of the buffs.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Where am I going?
C.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that is a lot of damage. That's a lot better.
Pee on me. Get on top of your buffs.
Still on C. Come on.
Nice, good job.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's some easy shit right there, boys. Easiest raid of my life.
First try, I think.
I'm checking right now, and I think we're actually.
Yeah, was that sub 20? We made it back.
Ooh. I got a 708 sidearm.
Nice. Oh, yuck. Never mind. What light level are you now?
702 when I wear my best gear. All right, hold your horses. Twist my arm, why don't you? I'll review Fallout Season 2. I wasn't planning on it because I'm so tardy to the party with it. I only finished Season 2 like 3 days ago or something like that. And the conversation's been there, done that, and now that the dust is settled, I guess I'll give you my thoughts on it because people keep asking. I thought it was alright. I think it's much weaker than Season 1. There are quite a few things about it I found disappointing and just a step backwards compared to where they were last season. And that's not to say Season 1 was perfect or anything, but it was very solid. I really did enjoy it. I went in expecting like poop and maybe even a little shit, but I actually got something that was entertaining. Season 2, though, while I didn't get any, fecal matter or anything, it is just not as strong. There were still things I liked about it, but overall, as a complete package, it just left a lot to be desired. I guess before diving into complaints, I'll at least give you like the things I really liked about the season. I think they nailed the look of New Vegas. I really think they crushed it. Like, they did a great job in Season 1 with sets and costume and everything. Like, I do think they capture the spirit of the games really well. In Season 2, it's no different. I think they absolutely knock it out of the park with the way New Vegas looks. I think they crush it with the characters. Deathclaws, I thought, looked great. Outside of one scene where it got a little janky, but for the most part, I really think they nail the aesthetic of New Vegas, and I do think they capture the spirit of it as well for the most part. The action, again, shines. I think they do a really good job of bringing the over-the-top gore from the game to the show and keeping like the almost silliness of some of the, blowing people's limbs off and shit intact and making it feel like it fits in the show. I do really like the way they handle action. I think they've continued to do a good job with Season 2 in that regard. I think the action slaps. Though there are quite a few things. It's not quite how I remember it from the game. Granted, it's been many years since I played the game, but it doesn't follow what I thought it would from the established lore of New Vegas. But what they put here still works in the context of the show, so I can excuse it to a certain degree. There were some things I really didn't like about some of the changes they made, but overall, I thought it was fine in the context they built it in for this series. That being said, I've got to make a mention, and I know this is supposed to be like, the thumbs up moment, the thumbs up section here, but I have to make a mention that what they did with the factions here, I think, was a big old blunder. I don't really like the changes they made to the factions at all. I guess we can get into that more in a minute if I want to dive deeper into spoilers, but if you played New Vegas, you're better off just neuralizing yourself and forgetting everything that happened in there, especially in regards to factions, because the show takes pretty much none of it. But like I said, what they do and like how they change it fits in the context of this show, but even still, I couldn't help but be disappointed, specifically about some of the decisions they made with the factions. I also think that the best part of Season 2 was the flashbacks. I think that's where the writing's the best, because outside of the flashbacks, I think that's when it really stumbles. The worst part about Season 2 is the writing. It's what really holds it back, and I think that's where they took many steps in the wrong direction when it comes to the Fallout television series here. It honestly felt like there were just moments where the writers just said, fuck it. Like, in the writing room, someone was just like, guys, we're thinking too hard. Just run it as is, and we'll just, fingers crossed, hope no one really stops to digest it. Because there are some nonsensical shit that goes on here. Best example, spoiler alert, the death clause in New Vegas. New Vegas is not the way it was in the game. I do think it looks very similar, and I think they capture this, like, the aesthetic of it, and I think it looks really cool, but they do make a crucial change, which is now it's infested with Deathclaw. And people live just outside of this barricade. And there are a bunch of Deathclaws in there, and at the end of the season, Maximus fights the Deathclaws in there. And he starts beating some of them, but there's a lot. And then at one point he gets tail whipped and sent through the barricade. Very easily. Like, the Deathclaw could have broken through this. It is literally like one piece of sheet metal. And they launch Maximus through it like a fucking missile. And now all of a sudden the Deathclaws start pouring out into the area where people live. Why the fuck are people living there with all those Deathclaws on the other side of a very flimsy, unreliable barricade? And why are the Deathclaw not going out there and eating them at any point? There is a plentiful food source on the other side of a very tiny barricade they could easily break out, and yet they just never do. I guess maybe the idea is the Deathclaws are too stupid to do that? I don't know. It just felt really weird. And like I tried to cope initially like, oh, maybe it's just because the power armor was so heavy that it busted through this near impenetrable barricade. But then the question naturally arose in my noodle, well, if the power armor is so heavy that it can do that, then the Deathclaw must be like 10x that strength in order to ragdoll the power armor like that. Meaning, if they just hit their tail against that barricade, it would have fucking disintegrated it. So, like, there's no way of spinning it where the Deathclaw couldn't have been going through that barricade anytime they wanted to. They just, I guess, decided they never wanted the food on the other side. And I just really don't get why people would choose to live there knowing the Deathclaw are there. Just very odd. Very, very weird choice there. And there's a couple other moments like that. For example, like, there's a scene where the ghoul gets punched and impaled on a big spiky pole in the middle of town, and he is there for like an entire day, and the town just goes on around him. He's asking for help, no one helps, which I think fits perfectly in line in the Fallout universe, but also, nobody steals from him. Nobody goes over and kills him or anything. No one steals anything from him. No one messes with him. I thought the implication was going to be when he was stuck on that pole and starting to, go feral, was that people were going to go just start stealing from him. Then he was really going to be fucked. But that never happened. They just leave him alone and ignore him. Which, ignoring the cries for help is one thing. That makes sense. But you're telling me no one there in this world, this town of people that do anything to survive and scavenge supplies, you're telling me they wouldn't go just take the easy supplies from this ghoul's bag who is completely stuck on this pole? Like, come on. No, don't, like, be serious. There's just some moments like that where it just, and another one, sorry I keep going down these, but the more I think about it, the more like ridiculous it is. Norm, Lucy's brother Norm, who I think has another interesting side plot that goes on throughout here, which gives you a lot more insight into like actual employees of Vault-Tec who have now been thawed out. He is now in a position where they've turned on him, it's mutiny, and he's about to get killed, but then rad roaches come through and start killing all of the vault dwellers that were about to kill him. And how does Norm survive? He hides under a table that is literally like a picnic table. It is just open on all four sides. And the rad roaches go right by him, kill all of the vault dwellers, eat them for a while, and then just leave. Presumably going right by Norm, who is just exposed in the open there under that table. Why? He didn't have like the cloak of invisibility or anything. The rad roaches had already been spotted like on the ground and everything. They would have seen Norm. Why didn't they kill him? And also, they were feasting upon and killing all of the vault dwellers for quite a while, and yet one of them survived. Conveniently, the one Vault-Tec employee that Norm had befriended. It's just very, like, the plot armor they give characters in Season 2 is, like, just very peculiar, because they don't even bother trying to give you a logical explanation for how they could have possibly survived. And oftentimes just felt kind of flat. I'll be getting into some spoilers here, but since the show is still pretty new, I won't get into like the biggest spoilers. But one thing this season did is they really seemed to want to do more gags. Like, that's the impression I got. Now, Season 1, of course, still had like comedy and stuff in there. It's fucking Fallout. Of course that's going to be there. And I thought it did a pretty decent job capturing that spirit in Season 1. In Season 2, I think overall they do a good job of capturing the spirit of the Fallout world. But when it comes to its characters and some of like the jokes they tried to play off, I thought they really fucking fumbled and fell flat on their face. Like, the entire side plot of like the inbreeding support group, I thought offered nothing and was just like a headache every time they were given screen time. And they got way more screen time than I think they ever should have for the role that it played in the show. So like incest jokes were in Season 1 and they were kind of like, haha, that's wacky. But in Season 2, they go hog wild with incest jokes. They even like attach a whole hemorrhoid onto the overall narrative ass, where Reg now has an inbreeding support group, which is supposed to help, vault dwellers overcome the trauma of the circumstances around their birth being the product of incest and inbreeding, but he offers snacks, and the vault dwellers don't actually care about any of that incest shit, they just care about the snacks. They want to snack down, and then it becomes a big snack club, which then becomes a problem because they're running low on water. So Overseer Betty is now losing control of her vault. She's being pushed to the edge because Reg refuses to concede here. He refuses to just go belly up and give, the snacks back. He even makes a point saying, you can take away the inbreeding support group, but you can't take away the snack budget, then grabs a handful of Jell-O and eats it. And this goes on for so long. Like, I feel like there were so many scenes of this fucking snack club, and it's just, like, it didn't make me laugh. It was just like, okay, come on, let's get back to, like, the interesting stuff, please. Why are we spending so much time here? The whole idea is it's supposed to show that Betty is losing control of her vault. And I think they could have done that without giving so much screen time to something so fucking insignificant and annoying. And I just think that's the most egregious example. There's other moments where the show does similar things where it like lands on a gag and then just like beats the shit out of it. But anyway, I think like one of the worst writing sins that season 2 makes is the inconsistency around some of its characters. At the end of season 1, we saw the Ghoul take on the Brotherhood of Steel in their power armor without fear, without hesitation. He was just a force of nature fucking clapping them. In season 2, he gets beaten by a rad scorpion. He gets absolutely fucking slapped around, steamrolled by a rad scorpion, which leaves him incapacitated for a long period of time. Like, I'm very confused on like the power scaling. Like, he's sometimes, an absolute menace, unstoppable, and then other times he's just coughing baby and Rad Scorpion comes through and bullies him. It was just kind of frustrating. Like, he is always either extremely powerful when the plot demands it or inexplicably weak when the plot needs him to be like sidelined for a little while on the bench. And Lucy, I really like Lucy as a character. I think she is the perfect character for a Fallout show where she is like extremely, ingrained in her morals. She still says fudge instead of fuck, and she really wants to see the best in the people around her. So like in the Rad Scorpion case, the reason that happened is because she took them off course to try and help someone that was crying out for assistance, and it ends with them getting ganked by the Rad Scorpion. And the Ghoul was like, we should just kill them, you shouldn't do this. And then once he goes down, once he, gets the wind taken out of his sails because he's all fucked up from the Rad Scorpion, he then takes the survivor back to where she came, which happens to get her involved with the Legion, which ends with her on a cross dying. And then the Ghoul has to save her. And even after that, she still stands by her morals. I think it's a really cool character trait to see explored in a universe like Fallout where everyone is in some way a bad guy because they have to be to survive the wasteland. There's no one that's like morally pure or anything, and Lucy's not either. But she tries to be, unlike most people in the show. And I think that's very cool, but because of that, a lot of how Lucy survives is based off of pure fucking luck. So like with the Legion, she survives because the Ghoul came back and rescued her because he still needed her as a bargaining chip. And there are just so many instances of her surviving solely because of luck. Like even at the end of the series, I won't spoil what was going to happen there, but with her father, there was something that was about to happen. Lucy was about to lose, but again, the Ghoul saves her. There are just so many times where she is just saved by sheer dumb luck. Which I think is just a shame because the show has established that she can hold her own. She can do what it takes to survive. And it's not to say that she never does in season 2. She does have a couple of badass moments, but for the most part, a lot of how she gets to where she ends up is just because roll the dice. She got lucky. And I don't know, it just felt kind of like underwhelming after like the third or fourth fucking time that happened this season. Now, that being said, she is not the only character that tries to be a good person. Maximus also does as well. But we can see him making a lot more morally gray decisions, and there's even like a whole swing of things where it seems like he's going in the wrong direction and is no longer that interested in being a good person, and, you know, kind of snaps back into it. But it is nice to see a character like Lucy who's all about, you know, trying to be a good person, and Maximus who wants to be a good person but is also okay just kind of really teetering on the edge. I really do like both of these characters, and I just wish season 2 did more with fleshing them out and evolving them. Maximus, I do think they did a good job with, though, for the season. I enjoyed his plot line quite a bit with the Brotherhood. And it is interesting to see him, you know, start turning heel. And like, he's now doing some bad shit that you wouldn't really expect someone that's wanting to be a good person would indulge in. And even someone close to him is talking about that too. Like, we used to make fun of the Codex, and now here you are quoting it. And he's like, well, you know, maybe it's not so bad after the things I've seen. I think that's a very interesting concept to play with. And it is different from Lucy, who is still, even after everything she's been through and all the times her morals get her in hot water and damn near fucking executed, she stands by them. Maximus, not so much. He's a lot more fluid when it comes to his morals and what he's going to do to try and make the world a better place, leave it better than he found it. I do like these characters. I just don't think season 2 did enough with them to grow them. I liked what season 1 was setting up, and then season 2, I think, dropped the ball a bit. And unfortunately, the same is true for House. I think there are moments where they get, like, the House from the game, but then there's other times where they just make him, like, cartoonishly evil, like when he just goes to a bar, starts a bar fight, and kills the guys there for some reason, for the sake of science. Like, that was just evil for the sake of evil. But then there are other times where, like, Cooper, these are during the flashbacks, like I said, I think these are the best moments of the show when it comes to writing. Cooper's, like, talking to House, and then you get to really see House, the way in which I remember him, and what is objectively a more interesting character. One who isn't, like, fully just, like, some madman, raving lunatic, evil, billionaire guy. He is a bad guy, but a complex character. Like, just as he was in the games, he has a lot of depth, and they show that only in some flashbacks. Like, it seemed like they really wanted to do more with House, but then also felt obligated to make sure you know this is a bad guy and he does bad things. Watch him kill these guys in a bar fight. That type shit. So that, like, just kind of disappointing with some of the things they did, like with House. But as I said, in the flashbacks, that's when the writing is at its best. Like Coop and Barbara's conversations about, you know, what they're going to do about the end of the world and their daughter, and how that changes their thinking and the way in which they want to approach the problems that they face. I think the flashbacks handle all of that very well. It's just when they get outside of flashbacks, it starts to really fall apart. Anyway, though, I don't think Fallout Season 2 was bad. It was still enjoyable. Like, I did enjoy watching it. It wasn't like a slog, and it didn't frustrate me a ton to the point where I didn't want to watch it or anything like that. I did like it. I just didn't like it nearly as much as I liked Season 1. So anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. I'm not someone who typically believes in the supernatural. You all know that. I am an active ghost hunter. I battle the unknown. I've been on 5 expeditions into paranormal territory with some of the most haunted locations in this country, and all 5 times have turned up without a single shred of evidence to anything unexplainable. No hauntings or anything like that. Which means one of 2 things. There's only 2 possible explanations here, 2 conclusions to draw. 1, I am an extremely powerful psychic and I just don't know my own strength, so when I walk into a haunted facility, I immediately exorcise all the spirits there. Or 2, there is no such thing as the paranormal. I'm inclined to believe the latter, but I continue to ghost hunt, and hopefully one day we'll find some actual evidence to the existence of spirits and ghouls and goblins and gnomes and all of that. But for now, still a big goose egg there. Though I don't believe in that kind of paranormal activity, there is something science can't explain that I do believe in. Curses. As I always say, a curse is just science that we haven't been able to comprehend yet. And I, unfortunately, was the victim of a very potent curse. Almost up there with, like, Avada Kedavra, except instead of killing me, it's killing my dreams of winning big trophies and big tournaments. The curse I'm referring to is my esports team's drought of major wins. What do I mean by this? Well, I've been in esports now for about 5 years. As all of you know, we have recently merged with Shopify Rebellion, so Moist Esports and Shopify Rebellion, we've rolled into one team. I've already talked at length about this merger, but I'll go ahead and give you the biggest cliff note here, one that people keep asking about. Why did we change the name? Well, one of the big reasons we did this merge in the first place is because our previous name, Moist Esports, well, that name was mud. They actually treated that like it was a slur at U.S. immigration, so we were no longer able to get our players, our international players, into this country for tournaments, and we speculate that it might be because of the name. Someone had a huge hate boner for it. So, obviously, keeping the name would still keep that problem. With Shopify Rebellion, that issue has been completely resolved, and it's been extremely exciting, it's been a lot of fun, but unfortunately, the curse has persisted, or at least it did, past tense. The curse latched onto my very soul. We were still in a major drought for the last, 6 months, but I'm happy to say, this week, we finally broke it. And not only did we win a major, we won a super major as well. And then we won another big tournament that qualified us for the World Championship in another game. So in 1 week, the curse was lifted, and then we blew its ass wide open. Now, some of you may have noticed I wasn't watch partying any of the tournaments over the last week, and it's by design. I've become very superstitious over the years. I think a lot of you have noticed that. So I wanted to try not watch partying these huge tournaments to see what would happen. And lo and behold, we won every tournament. And so, I think there was some kind of voodoo magic placed on my watch parties to ensure that we only ever got second place. And now that I didn't watch party it, we got first place in multiple tournaments. Huge tournaments. I'm hoping the breaking of the seal here means I can safely watch party our teams and watch us win these tournaments again. So I just wanted to make a mention of that, and I also want to just show you some highlights from this last week of wins because it has just been so incredible. Our teams have been amazing. I want to start with the most recent one. This one happened only a couple hours ago. Zane took first place at Supernova, the largest Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament of all time in terms of participation, in terms of attendance. It was the largest ever held, and Zane absolutely slapped. He Gangnam Styled all the way to Grand Finals and won Grand Finals through winner's side. He looked untouchable.
Yeah, big thing. Okay. Cody has to stay confident on his edge guard routes, even though he has one stock left.
Got to be careful there, too, because I thought Zane was going to tech that. Nice shine grab, okay. That might be it.
This might be it.
The weak hit.
But he's got it. He's got it. He doesn't want to commit. He has it this time. Surely. It is enough to do it. And Zane Nagmi, your Supernova 2025 champion. He's got 2 in a row.
That's right. Zane's got it all.
Let's go.
He's got it all. Winning the world's biggest tournament in history.
The biggest tournament of all time, and now you can see the emotion has come from this man, Zane Nagmi, number 2 in the world as of this summer, making a statement with the gold medal
Number 1 today, though.
Number 1 today.
Let's go. Let's go.
Doing it on the home turf
the home turf, bro.
This is a huge dub here from Zane. This isn't just a major. This is a major set to Wumbo. It's a super major. You fucking love to see that. That right there could make a grown man cry. And you know what else could make a grown man cry? Just sob? Doing this, a huge win here, after we had also won big time at a Halo major. Our Halo squad took home first place at the most recent HCS major over Optic Gaming in a fucking nail biter. This one was a real ass greaser. Shopify even made a whole documentary about this one. The documentary slaps, by the way. I'm gonna show you a little piece of this from the grand finals because holy, this series was a roller coaster. Game 1 got me real nervous. They put the stink on us in Game 1, unfortunately.
First battle against Formal. They knew exactly where Formal was, and they have continued to rack up the kills since.
Cycle now will be last alive. Optic Gaming, fresh forward dead from Shopify. Formal will hold the ball. He will watch his teammates do the heavy lifting. And Optic Gaming will take game number 1 here at our grand finals.
3 dead for Shopify. Optic Gaming heating up here.
Shopify focusing on the spawners, but Frosty just felt there was something up. Optic needs to put runs together now. Trading will only mean Shopify closing this game out quicker. Ooh. Switches to the Bandit, should be able to clean that up. This kill onto Bound, it's a killing spree for him.
After trailing, they now 2 kills away from closing out the game. Here comes the push.
Formal might be the 49th, 50th! Shopify tie things up, it's 1-1.
That game 2 was a different story right there. They came in there and farted in them. It was beautiful. The boys started coming alive and they were starting to feel it.
There, he kills Renegade, who had that sniper rifle. Doesn't go for it. Does the damage onto Legend, and now pushes forward to find himself a double kill. Shopify will take this first hill unless something magical happens. Optic are going to stop Shopify Rebellion from scoring. Ooh, that's Royal 2. And Frosty is buying time, gets the trade in that position somehow or other. All of the players are falling. Frosty last alive. I don't think he's going to be able to get near that hill. He's cut down, and it looks like Optic might have done enough. And they will go ahead in the series. They're up 2-1.
Just when you thought Shopify was finding some footing, finding momentum after that second hill.
Spots out Bound. Oh! Deletes Bound with a backspace. Shopify cap.
That's a big trade for Formal, however, still a man advantage. It's a 2v1 on the map right now as the flag will continue running through Rat.
I don't know if Optic can stop this one. I don't know if there's anyone in position. I think this is going to be it. Renegade the last hope, and the G-Slide is there, but it's not going to be capped just yet.
Does not get it. Here comes Cycle, though. He will be there, and yes, Shopify Rebellion will get the flag and tie up the series 2-2. Royal 2 tries to make something happen for Blue Pipes, but cannot, and now he just needs to stay alive.
He's out. Nades fly into tower from Shopify Rebellion. They get the pick, and most importantly, it's the pick on the shock rifle player. Last shot with the double, last shot with the shock rifle.
2 dead, but Optic's still in the lead here. It's all about this camo bottom middle.
Oh, he's sending it. Last shot with the slide.
Now 48-46, 2 kills away.
Last shot gets the pick. Royal 2, there's one. Shopify close out. Shopify 1 map away.
Best of 7 keeps me sweating. Squad is looking so strong here. Lot of momentum, but then game 6 gets rocky.
All right then, Salt Lake City, this could be the final game of our grand finals. The final game of the event. Frosty wins that battle. 2 dead on either side at the moment, although Shopify have that spawner just coming up in time. 4 dead. The fuse is lit again. They're up by 2. Spots out Legend.
Not over.
And Frosty connects. Gets popped up. Frosty starts to march that bomb towards the base. Royal 2 also in position with his sniper rifle, but Renegade picks up one on last shot. Like you say, Cycle also falls in this push.
Cycle and last shot fall. This is falling apart for Shopify Rebellion, and what a counter from Optic Gaming.
Frosty in a 1v1 with Legend. Legend gonna win it. Cycle collects his sniper rifle though and keeps the pressure on. 10 seconds left in this game. Bomb is set around 5 seconds left in the game. Shopify can't do anything about it. And ladies and gentlemen, Optic will win it!
Before showing you the exhilarating Game 7, I do want to say, I know how a lot of people feel about Halo in the current era, about it not being the juggernaut that it once was. I understand. But I need you to trust me when I say the esports side of Halo is a totally different beast. Halo professionally hasn't been this good since the OG MLG days. I'm talking back in the straight Rippin era, the Walshy era. I think the Halo we're seeing over the last 6 to 8 months is up there with some of the greats from back in the day. It has been so fucking fun to watch. Even before we merged with Shopify and had this Halo team, I was still watching these tournaments because they are just so good.
We're tied up at 3-3. Renegade has that green gun. There's a player behind him in the chimney. Did he get the stick? The shield's broken again.
Wasting ammo and playing it, just taking absolutely 0 risks. Also has the QT. He can QT right out if he needs to, but the shots are so good that he doesn't need to just yet. Gets some extra damage as well, but looks like should be flushed out. What? No! He's all over the map.
He's putting the QT to use, and he spotted out the camo here. He knows it's here somewhere. Legend has no idea. Last shot picks off camo. QT's back.
24-28. They're down by 4. Last shot with camo.
2 dead. For Optic Gaming, Royal 2's chasing down members of Optic at the back of the tower. It's 4 dead. It's 4 dead for Optic. It's a 1-kill game.
Last shot plays it perfectly. Doesn't try to get too crafty. Doesn't try to get too aggressive with the camo. Instead, just plays the advantage, gets the damage that he needs, and also catches Renegade off guard.
1 bullet for Frosty. Success for Shopify a lot of the time is in this man's hands. He can't win the fight against Renegade though. Shopify making a play though. They're swarming on the big door. Cycle managed to get one kill. Renegade! Renegade! If he goes down there, this game looks so different. It is tied up at 40-40.
Frosty can't peek. They keep Frosty off of dummy door. Very nicely done. They take the lead on Shopify.
Royal 2 has a flank. Sniper rifle coming up as well. Still the one kill between the two teams. Legend versus Royal 2. And Legend was last alive. It's 45-43.
Where's that snipe go? Where does that snipe go? It's in the hands of Frosty. Will he hit the shots to take this team home and their first ever Halo Infinite win?
Royal 2 picks off Bound. Shopify inching closer. 2 kills to go with 2 members of Optic in the death screen. The sniper rifle in the hands of a man who has lifted so many trophies throughout his career.
Bound is way out at green. Let's see if they can splat him out.
Cycle finds one. 1 kill to go. Frosty with this snipe. Optic with barely any hope at this point.
No room for error on Optic. Knows it. That's going to be it.
It's Cycle. And what a story has got its conclusion. Cycle, the youngster, the new blood, gets the final kill to push Shopify Rebellion through a grueler of a grand finals.
I'm so happy for this squad, man. They super deserve it. Last Shot, Cycle, Royal 2, Frosty, and Nick Bestman. They have worked so hard for this, and it is such a joy to see them finally hoist that trophy. They are the best team in the world in my eyes. I am so fucking proud of them, and I can't wait to get a replica of that trophy. They get to keep the real ones, of course, but down here in the swamp, we get the bootleg version. We make the replicas. We fucking moonshine it, and I can't wait to add it to our trophy wall, put it in the collection. And this also wasn't the last tournament we won this week. We also won the Rocket League North American Last Chance Qualifier, which means our Rocket League team is now in the World Championship.
Relax, let's relax. Watch the 50s. Oh, hell nah. Wavy, this has to be you. What a save. 2-piece with 0 boost. Wavy has to be you again. Reynolds, great cut off the demo of the respawn. 4 seconds. Let's end this 3-1. Come on now.
The game 1 victory here for Shopify Rebellion.
On that one hitting the ground, Rebellion with a statement. It still got that dog in him, right? Even though he's got the mech.
What a bump from Reynolds. What a shot as well. What placement. Look at Hoxer backwards on the crossbar. Look at it pop up. Great pop. Wavy, slot it. Great pass back, free for 2-piece. This has been the best game I've ever seen us play without scoring. Keep it up. Keep it in. He's got 35. We've all got the boost. Oh, no.
Hoxer, the shot. He scores. The boys win game 3.
Dude, Wavy. This is still a shot. That's okay. Good patience.
But now has to rotate
What on
back.
2-peak?
He's trying to get it up and over the defense.
Reynolds has boost. 2-peak, you cross and go crazy. Anyone there? Anyone there?
Far back. They don't want to take any chances.
Shoot! Shoot! Yes, Wavy! Come on!
The overtime winner!
These clips are from CJ's watch party of the event. His watch parties are so fucking hype, but he was playing some copyrighted music, so I can't let the audio play here during the clips, which is why now I'm yapping over it, just giving you a heads up.
We've seen crazy things happen. I saw crazy things happen in Raleigh, and the fake kickoff! It blows up to be able to make a major, but then get
Stuff the majors! We're at Worlds, ladies and gentlemen!
As Gen G or Wavy, who was brought in.
We're at Worlds!
To get this job done. Wavy, who has been
Wavy, Reynolds, and 2-piece pulled it off. A lot of people did not expect Shopify Rebellion to make this run. It was a fucking gauntlet getting here. And they came through and stomped in grand finals. It was beautiful, and now they get to go to the World Championship stage and hopefully make magic happen all over again, baby, and hoist the biggest trophy in Rocket League. That would be exhilarating. It really has just been an incredible week here for our teams, and I'm so proud of them and super happy about it. I hope we continue to flood the esports space with W's from our teams. It's been amazing, and I just wanted to showcase some of these big wins here since I didn't watch party them. I'm going to watch party the next ones, and hopefully all of these W's have fully undone the curse. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping the curse is broken. That's really about it. See ya. That's the noise Mario makes in Super Mario 64 when he takes damage. Not the best impression, but probably not the worst either. And right now, Mario is making those noises because he's taking damage in real life, judging by the reviews on his new movie. This has nothing to do with today's video topic, by the way, but right before I started filming, I saw the headlines that Super Mario Galaxy is, like, bad. So it's getting pretty terrible reviews, which surprised me because I assumed it would be business as usual. I liked the last Mario movie. I thought this would be more of the same. And the last Mario movie had average reviews. This one has catastrophic reviews. People talking about it like they went in there and Mario gave them a fucking knuckle sandwich and a wet willy. They hate it. And definitely had me raise an eyebrow there because it makes me wonder, is it actually bad or what the hell's gone wrong? Not that it matters because it's Mario. It's still going to gross $1 billion. But I'm very curious to see how this movie actually is on Thursday. Anyway, though, today's video topic is kind of a smorgasbord of things. There's a lot that I want to blabber about. First and foremost, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run. It's the newest season of JoJo's. It's part 7. It's been very highly anticipated. Most of you know I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Most of you also know the fandom does not like me at all. They treat me like Bikini Bottom treated SpongeBob when he had the bad breath. I'm ugly, and I'm proud. And the reason why they don't like my take on it. I love JoJo's Part 1, Part 2, Part 5, and I haven't finished Part 6 because of Netflix's release schedule for it, but I like everything I've seen in Part 6. Coming close. Get ready. Hope you're sitting down. I don't like Parts 3 and 4. I know. Steam collectively just exploded out of people's ears. Part 3 was okay. I didn't love it. It just dragged so much. And Part 4, it falls into my least favorite genre of anime, which is slice of life. It's predominantly slice of life until Kira's introduced, and I loved Kira. Everything that happened when Kira came was wonderful. Everything before that, way too slice of lifey for me. Is what it is. Anyway, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run just dropped, episode 1. You may have seen, even if you're not familiar with the property, that it's one of the highest rated anime episodes ever. And fans were really excited to get more. Only to be met with this fucking wedgie that second stage, episode 2, will be coming at some point in 2026. No release date, not even a release month. Just this idea of episode 2 coming out at some point this year. Very, very disappointing. Now, I mentioned with part 6, I didn't actually finish it because of Netflix's release schedule. They did something called batch release, where they released it in parts, but not in the way that you're thinking. Not like in the way that some anime do, where it's like part 1 and then like 6 months later, part 2, which is like a whole nother season. Netflix did it in like a really counterintuitive way, and it just completely ruined the momentum of the show. And it seems like, based on this, they're doing the same thing with part 7 here, Steel Ball Run. They released episode 1, it was a banger. Now we have to wait who knows how long for episode 2 or the next batch of episodes. It's just straight up poop, because what's even the point in releasing the episode here? Why? People are just going to forget about it in like 6 or 8 months, however long it is, until episode 2 finally fucking pops out of the oven here. They squeak it out. Like, it's just, you kill all of the momentum. Everyone that got invested in episode 1 has nothing to do for 6 or 8 months and will just drop it most likely. That's what happened to me as a fan of the property already. So if someone like me who's already invested in the property couldn't even like keep up with the release schedule on part 6, what fucking hope is there for a casual fan to keep caring about it? You know what I mean? It's very silly. As many people talk about these days, weekly releases are just the best for shows. Hands down. I think the binge model is obsolete. That's just for gluttonous heathens at this point. I see no value in the binged model unless you just want to endlessly consume and forget. There's just only positives to doing weekly releases for a show or anime, because then it's always top of mind. It keeps stretching out the hype and the momentum. It allows for conversations around each episode. It lets people get excited and get invested, as opposed to just like one big drop and then everyone's all over the place with it. It's hard to talk about it because everyone's at different points. And I know I've yapped about that a lot. It's just crazy to me that we still have things like this happen. It just doesn't make sense. So, very disappointed with how Netflix is handling Steel Ball Run. Hopefully, they do have like this big come to Jesus moment and realize like maybe we shouldn't wait till the end of the year, which is the speculation, for episode 2 to come out. Maybe we should do it a little bit sooner here. But I guess we'll see. I doubt they're going to change course, but who knows. What we do know, though, is that there's a lot of butts getting fucked right now by Sony. There was a huge price increase that was just announced recently about how basically everything's going up by at least $100. So PS5 disc edition goes from $550 to $650. The digital only goes to $600, and the PS5 Pro goes all the way to $900, a $150 price hike. Now, the reasoning they gave for the price hike is, I think you can guess it, things like RAM shortages and just everything we've been seeing across the tech space, citing like big global changes, that kind of thing. But I think their numbers are a load of hooey. I think this is a pretty steep price hike that I don't think is necessarily solely driven by what we've seen like with RAM and all of that. I think they figured that they could probably get away with it and it probably wouldn't hurt their bottom line. They're also probably right. I think people will still continue to buy PS5s even at $900 for the Pro. Yeah, it sucks. Not a very happy announcement here. You best start believing in face fucking. You're in one. And it won't just be Sony. We're going to be seeing price increases pretty much across the board on tech, I imagine. Even though I did see some glimmers of hope, like some good news, like with the AI, floundering that we've been seeing recently with OpenAI and all that. So maybe there's like signs of life there that, everything won't get absurdly expensive instantly. But I don't know. It's hard to have any level of hopium at this point in that industry. Anyway, though, huge tonal whiplash here. I want to give you something cool, something that I found to be surprisingly good, which is the Backrooms trailer. Most of you know this. I don't like the Backrooms. I haven't liked any of the Backrooms games I played. I haven't enjoyed the Backrooms products. It's just, for some reason, it just doesn't do it for me. Now, you can huff and you can puff, but you won't be changing my mind. It's just not my cup of tea. That being said, everything I've ever seen from Kane Pixels seems cool. Like, if you're a fan of Backrooms, everything he's been doing with the property does seem really hype. And now, after watching this new trailer, I'm pretty excited for the movie myself, even as someone who's been quite the Scrooge on Backrooms. So, I just wanted to make a mention of that. I was very pleasantly surprised by the quality of this trailer, and I really hope the movie slaps. Coming at you with another huge change of direction here, big change of pace. I cannot stop giggling at the Lindsey Graham Disney trip. Lindsey Graham, big fucking goober, absolute fucking weirdo madman. He took he claims it was like, a big business thing, and then he did a little R&R at Disney afterwards, because he was in the area. And so Lindsey Graham, naturally, of course, went to Disney World by himself. No kids. Lindsey Graham, no kids, by the way. Took a solo excursion to Disney, and boy, did he live it up. He probably was, hitting some of these cool little moves, hot dog, trying to get Mickey's attention. He got himself a bubble wand. I think he was spotted with a secret family. No, he was not. Yeah, I gotta show you this picture here. I know we already talked about him earlier, but it is just so fucking wacky. I gotta show you the magic wand. Oh, it was a bubble wand, excuse me. I didn't mean to besmirch the good name of Lindsey Graham's childless Disney excursion. Look how much fun he's having. He's having such a good time. No kids, by the way. Bro, raw dogging his Disney vacation. Yeah. Why is he all by himself? He's a fucking freak, man. I don't know. I love the idea of someone recognizing him and taking a stealth photo. Yeah. I'll be honest. I would not recognize Lindsey Graham. He just looks like a normal spaced out old guy. Like he has no uniquely defining features. Now everyone started clowning on Lindsey Graham for this, naturally. And so, pretty much immediately upon like the flood of people spitting on him and poking fun at him, he posted this photo trying to look cool. Like, look how hard I am. See, look, I'm not gay or anything. I'm bubble wand. Never heard of such a thing. The only wand I know is the wand that spits lead. Look at me shoot these clays. I think I may have laughed harder at him posting that picture than I did at the actual Disney photos of him being spotted there like fucking Sasquatch. It had me actually hooting and hollering because I just know this freak was having a conniption. He was there with a cold sweat and a panic like, okay, oh my god. All right, we've got to turn the tides here. Okay, what's the coolest thing I can do right now? A kickflip. Shit, no, I'm like 90 years old. I can't get around like I used to. Geriatric. I went clay shooting once. I might have a picture. Yes. They won't call me gay when I post this. Watch this. Bang. And then he just drops that little fucking nugget there. It was beautiful. Actually glorious. So yeah, I had to yap about this too here. Like I said, it's just kind of a charcuterie board of little topics I wanted to discuss here. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering. That's really about it. See ya. Please, let us take a moment of silence for the YouTubers that now post on TikTok. Thank you. It's like a fucking ASPCA commercial. It's weird, everyone on YouTube collectively took fat shits on Musical.ly, but now with TikTok, wait a second, can call that home. Everyone's going to TikTok. No disrespect for any YouTubers, anyone that does post on TikTok. It's just not my cup of cum. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's one of probably the second most humorless place on the planet, second only to Reddit. And it's just a barren wasteland of fun. Going through your parents' divorce is more fun than going through TikTok, at least in my opinion. I think it's all bad on there. And to showcase that, I'm going to show you some of the most popular trends going on right now that I was able to find. So let's dive right in. Bravo, that was a fun TikTok for everyone to enjoy, especially the janitor, the worker that's going to have to go and clean that up because your affluent ass definitely isn't going to be bothered to do it. That really kind of sums up the comedy on TikTok. This will be hilarious, just pouring this liquid into the glass until it overflows and gets on the floor and makes someone else clean it up. Yeehaw, baby, rebellious 9-year-olds for the win, except I'm 24 years old and I have a kid and I'm really trying my best to be famous on the internet. Better do this challenge on TikTok. So you'll never guess the name of this one. It's called the Spill the Drink Challenge, and there's music that plays, but I can't play it because it's a copyrighted song, but it says, hose, and that's while they're pouring it the whole time, and it's drawn out. The shit is genius, a fucking masterpiece. A beautiful challenge, just doing it right there in the middle of McDonald's, making sure to get everyone in the crowd involved, you know, getting water or Sprite on everyone, which is exactly what you want when you're just going about your day, trying to get some cheap-ass food. Yep, that's what I want to feel like my feet are getting pissed on. Great stuff. To be fair, this is the only one of this challenge I saw that was done in a public location. Everything else was staged with their family or their friends in their own house and using water or Coke for the most part. So this was just a real pioneer who decided to take it to the next level and do it in public and make everyone uncomfortable and be a public nuisance for the internet clout. I'm not going to play any more from this challenge because you get the idea. Every single one is just staring at the camera and overfilling a glass. It's fucking awful. Let's move on to a different one.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad. You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
I should have warned you to come in here with a change of panties, because we're all getting wet with this challenge. This is the You So Bad, I Want You So Bad challenge. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't put butterflies in my nutsack. Man, what a confidence booster. It's like, damn, all these dudes looking at me like this, saying they want me, like I'm so bad, and they want me bad. Like, god damn.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, those are children. Those are kids. I feel like even having watched this clip in the middle of a compilation puts me on a list. I also don't really know when Bass Pro Shop became like acceptable fashion. When I was growing up, the only time you'd ever see anyone in Bass Pro Shop gear is if they were kissing their sister and 40 years old with a beer belly. I can't imagine kids now are wearing Bass Pro Shop merch, but hats off to Bass Pro Shop for breaking into a younger demographic.
You're so bad. And baby, I want you so bad, yeah. You're so bad, yeah. And baby, I want you so bad.
There's no greater mystery in this world than the one that you see before you. How do you get more than one person to be in your shitty TikTok? How does no one along the way say, hey guys, this sucks. Why are we doing this? This is embarrassing. Why is there no sense of shame when it comes to TikToks. I'm always surprised when there's more than one person in a TikTok. I get why one delusional person might think it's a good idea, fucking biting on their lip and lip syncing and shit. I get that, but when you bring in like 3 other people, how does not one of them say, this is dumb, this sucks shithole? But hats off to them. You got 3 dudes gathered around with their red Solo cup trying to give the illusion that they're drinking alcohol, but they're clearly under 21, clearly under 18, so they're most likely just in there with fruit punch or root beer. And then you have one dude dance around the back. I mean, even scripting that and telling your friends what you're going to do, how does no one just say, no thank you, this is embarrassing? But whatever, group TikTok effort, very popular, hats off to them, they're having fun. I feel like such a fucking boomer shitting on new generation entertainment, but I just don't get it. I don't know who's scrolling through TikTok, stops on this one, gets a big old smile on their face and leaves it a heart. Like, there's no joke there. I hate when the joke is the song or like a goofy dance. I hate that. I fucking hate it. That is my least favorite form of comedy. Big on Instagram, big on TikTok, was big on Musical.ly, which is TikTok. Just not for me. We'll move on from this challenge, though, and go to another doozy. Another real banger of a challenge. TikTok to look at girls, but I have to wonder who goes on TikTok to look at girls. What the fuck is the point of that when the internet exists? There's millions and millions of girls on the internet doing all kinds of crazy shit. You can find pretty much anything to suit your degenerate taste. Brazilian fart porn if you're into that. You can watch a girl put Fruit Loops into her gaping asshole while another girl puts a spoon in there and eats them out. You can watch a girl putt golf balls into another girl's gaping asshole. There is anything. The sky is the limit. Why go on TikTok? Why roll those dice? Those girls could be 14 years old, you fucking weirdos. It just makes no sense. I don't know who's going on TikTok to look at girls. I thought TikTok was supposed to be for like humor and shit, but it's clearly not because there is no humor. It's fucking awful. Let's keep going.
Catbug! I need a bath.
Yeah?
Some yogurt.
Yeah?
And a place to go. Duty!
If that's not illegal, it certainly should be soon. Well, I think this has been enough to make my point. There is nothing good on TikTok at all, unless you're like a predator, maybe. I just don't get it. I never really thought I'd reach the age where I didn't understand new stuff. Like, growing up, I was always like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That'll never happen. I'll always be with the times and understanding everything and being able to partake in technology and shit. But now, I totally fucking see it. I get why boomers don't understand how to use a fucking cell phone. I get it. I am finally at a point where I just don't understand something that younger people like. It's a fucking sad feeling. Getting old. And it's going to happen to you too if you're young and watching this. Don't think that it's only boomers. It's going to be you too, you fucking loser. You're also going to get to the point where you're like, oh my god, what is the younger generation doing? This makes no sense to me. It's going to happen. I definitely see it just being a natural order of things now. I get it. And it sucks. Also, TikTok fucking sucks. It's not me. It's not boomers that are the problem. It's the younger generation with shit taste. TikTok sucks. It's bad. That's it. See ya.
Initiating moisture.
Breaking Bad is my favorite television show of all time, and one of only 3 things I would ever feel comfortable giving 100% to on the moist meter as of this time. I truly believe it is a perfect television show, never drags, always full throttle, nuts to butts, keeps anyone interested no matter what your tastes are. Just an unbelievable piece of fiction, and it's so beautiful. It's a show that I can't recommend enough. A true masterpiece. El Camino is an epilogue to give closure to the finale of Breaking Bad's already beautiful ending that I thought wrapped up nicely. El Camino is now coming in 6 years later to give a little more closure. I went in a little hesitant because it feels conceptually unnecessary to go a bit further beyond the finale when you already had it all kind of wrapped up. The only thing left to speculation is, where does Jesse go? But you already know the answer to that. Jesse's just going to get the fuck out of there. And that's exactly what El Camino is about, him getting the fuck out of there. And after having seen the movie, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off, I'm going to take a shit in your cereal bowls. It's super unnecessary, it really is. It feels, unfortunately, like a cash grab on Breaking Bad. It's mainly fan service in flashbacks wrapped around a weak plot. The plot is as simple as it gets. It's Jesse getting the fuck out of there. It's exactly what you'd expect, and he gets out the exact way most people expected him to at the end of the Breaking Bad finale. There's only 2 plot-important moments in this entire movie that runs over 2 hours. There's 2 moments that aren't flashbacks and are important to Jesse getting out. Everything else is just Breaking Bad characters coming on screen to wave and say goodbyes, as if you're going through like a museum of Breaking Bad and just celebrating what a great show it was. And make no mistake, it is not only a great show, but the greatest show ever made, in my opinion. So seeing the characters again is a treat. The characters are great in the movie. It's you know, they're intact and they're great characters, but you can't help but feel disappointed, like, okay, so the puppet master is making these great characters dance again, but why is he doing it? Well, the answer is because Netflix paid him to, I feel. Because they don't really do anything in this movie apart from just tug on your heartstrings with saying goodbyes. You never needed that. Everything wrapped up nicely in Breaking Bad, I feel. Here, it's as if a child wanted to go back and give a little more closure to his favorite story. Well, how would a child do it? Well, I'll bring my favorite characters back to all give high fives and pats on the ass saying good game, and then I'll sign them off with a happy ending. It didn't need to be made. I mean, it's cool that it did because the movie's good. Like, it's a good movie, it's well made, there's some beautiful shots, and the 2 moments that aren't flashbacks that are important to Jesse getting out are good. They're well directed and they're entertaining to watch, but it is wholly just unnecessary. It's not a word I like to use in a movie because a movie's just there to be entertaining, but when this is a movie that doesn't stand on its own 2 feet by any means, if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, don't see this movie because none of it's going to make sense, because it is genuinely all flashback fan services. If you break this movie down into things that happen in real time and things that happen in flashback, you probably got an even split. An hour or so of flashbacks and an hour or so of real time, and in that real time, it's mainly just going through what you saw in a flashback. It's not a movie on its own 2 feet. This feels like an episode that would have come out right after the finale as an extended cut, directors, here's the VHS that they didn't want me to show you because it's too cute. And then bang, that would have been better. Just like a fucking 30-minute episode, extended epilogue at the end of the series. That would have been totally great. Then you have incredible closures for the people that needed it, wanted it, fine. But here, as a movie 6 years later, I just have to wonder why, besides a money-driven thing, because that's what it feels like. There's nothing here that it offers that really expands upon the universe. It doesn't add anything to any of the characters. It's just disappointing. It's very disappointing. I do love the characters. I love seeing them back in action again. Of course, it's very well directed. It's very well acted. The dialogue's super great, of course. Everything about it is very solid, but as a movie on its own, none of it makes sense because you don't know the Breaking Bad going into it, so you're missing out on pretty much all the lore. As a Breaking Bad fan, can you really be that happy with getting it hammered into you, like slapped across your face? Hey, well, I don't want to leave anything up to your imagination, so here, this is exactly what happens, and here's your favorite characters, so that way you can get a little semi-chub and some tears in your eyes. And then, yeah, it is sad at moments, of course, because it's a very tragic tale, and Jesse Pinkman as a character is a very tragic character. But I don't think this movie closing the book once and for all on Jesse's story is justified in its existence. It's a well-made movie, well-directed, well-acted, great score, but when the credits finally rolled, did it really add anything to the Breaking Bad universe or story or characters? Did it really bring anything of substance? For the majority of people, I imagine the answer is probably no. At least for me it is. On the flip side, though, I can see why a lot of people would like it, because it's just, hey man, I love these characters, I want to see them interact more. Well, fuck yeah, you're going to get a lot of that here through flashbacks. You're getting a lot of characters interacting, great characters, but the movie itself, it doesn't really have a place in the universe. It doesn't do anything or bring anything to the table. The flashbacks are mainly fan service without really getting too deep into any like gaps in the show to like flesh anything out. It's all just pretty superficial. I don't think at any moment any of the flashbacks really add too much. It just really feels hollow and more of just a let's go around the circle fucking high-fiving these great characters as we send them off once and for all 6 years later. And I can't help but be disappointed with El Camino. Plugging it into the moist meter, I'm giving El Camino a 65%. It is, again, a well-made, well-directed, well-acted, great score, and just a really well-made movie top to bottom. But it's a movie that doesn't stand on its own two legs. No one who hasn't seen Breaking Bad is going to walk away blown away by this movie and wanting to watch the series. And for Breaking Bad fans, this doesn't really bring you anything in terms of story to the universe or depth to the characters. It's more just, you love Jesse, let's show you once and for all, so that way there's nothing left to your imagination where he ends up, and we're going to fill that with a lot of fucking fan service. For a lot of people that's fine, but for me it was disappointing. That's it. See ya. No one told me about this, by the way. I had to learn this on my own. There is another Concord level failure in the AAA gaming space. Unknown 9. I'm assuming you guys just didn't hear about this, because I didn't either, and I keep my finger on the pulse of these massive flopperooskies. So Unknown 9 was a game that came out to crickets. An all-time peak of 285. That means Gollum basically 5x'd this game's player count. And that's not, you know, the biggest surprise in the world. There's all kinds of flops born every minute. But this one had so many trailers and shit, and so much money behind it, and before this game even released, they had planned an entire franchise around it, which they have now announced is cancelled. It was a transmedia process where they were going to make a... What was it? Oh, here it is, right here. Video game, film, and book. And I also read that they were talking about, like, comics and... Oh, wait, right here. And comics and web series. And podcasts. So they invested unbelievable amounts of money in this before the game even came out. Like, this was going to be like fucking Star Trek or something for them. They really thought they had something with Unknown 9. And I went back and I watched the trailer, and I can vaguely remember we saw this at one of Jeff Keighley's Game Awards or something. I don't remember which.
Peggy 16.
But, like, even the name just sounds like it's destined for, like, the bargain bin. Unknown 9 sounds like something from an Adam Sandler film where, like, he walks in on his kid playing games. He's like, what you playing, sport? And he's like, Unknown 9, Dad. It's only the optimal battle royale hero shooter. Old man, get out of here, geriatric. They had a trailer in pretty much every game show for the past 2 years. But yeah, this was like their cinematic trailer. It didn't really ring any bells for me here, but the one that did... Where is it? This one.
And the first chapter of a larger adventure that unfolds within the Unknown 9 narrative universe. You play as Haruna, a young woman with impressive supernatural abilities. Brought to life on screen.
I remembered this.
Anya Shaloti.
I didn't know the game ever came out, and I guess no one else did either.
Comes from her attunement to the Fold. Realize that they are the only ones who can stop them from meddling with forces that should better be left untouched.
So, they had all these trailers throughout the years. It was going to be this massive media empire, you know, rivaling Hello Kitty and Pokemon, I guess. They were just investing heavily. Game came out. I didn't even know it came out. We didn't even touch it on like a bad game night or anything. It's apparently fucking terrible.
We need to get that door open. I'd wager there's a switch.
You know what it reminds me of before I let the gameplay continue? Do you guys remember, I think it was like 10 years ago now, they had that like Indiana Jones style bad game that had a lot of hype around it, and it was a big flop. I can't remember anything else about it. No, not Forspoken, older than that. It was like an Uncharted kind of game, but done on like $50 a budget. Was it Unearthed? I don't know, it might have been Unearthed. I thought it had a longer name than that. I thought it was something like Clive Doofenheim's Exploration to the Center of the World or something, but let me see Unearthed. Yep, it is Unearthed. Trail of Ibn Battuta, that's what it was. Fuck. It reminds me of this game.
Welcome to Morocco, my friends. I'm glad you could make it. the adventure of one of the world's greatest explorers.
Of course, I see the Chainsaw Man movie.
Ibn Juzay wrote an account of
And
Ibn
I did not
Battuta's
see that,
adventures
Ray.
in a book called Al-Rila, was passed to us through generations. The book.
Man, I need to replay Unearthed Trail of Ibn Battuta. But yeah, this was episode 1 of what was supposed to be like this long-spanning epic. But it's very clear this game was made off of, you know, a pretty small budget. This, allegedly, from some of the numbers I was reading, was over $100 million. Because they had so many things in the can already outside of just games. And this is what the game looks like.
I see you, Quester! Give up! Find that crate! She's there! She just I found
It's crazy just how out of touch gaming companies can be these days.
Where'd she go?
It reminds me of just old 360 games you'd find used at GameStop for like $10. And you're like, fuck it, I'll play it for a few hours. What was it? Also, I didn't look at the reviews. I want to see what IGN gave this game.
It only took 10 minutes of playing Unknown 9 Awakening for me to feel a keen sense of deja vu, taking out enemies in small
And a keen smell of dog shit, because this game is trash.
Story of personal growth, might also just
Watch them give it an
stuff like
8.
this.
What is happening here? What am I looking at? Oh. That's a pretty cool find. An infinite Dormammu loop.
Unknown 9 Awakening, the wholly underwhelming adventure.
Nice. So yep, apparently this whole franchise cost tons and tons of money. I had an unbelievable amount of faith in it, and it is now canned. Because it only ever had 285 players. Which is absolutely incredible. So, I will definitely be playing this after the World Championship. So, after this weekend, I'll probably start playing it on Monday, like next Monday. We're going to give it a whirl. Before they take it off Steam, inevitably. It looks like it was a new studio founded by a guy who was a writer on 3 Assassin's Creed games. That just sounds so par for the course. Let's see. Actually, let me finish reading the rest of this article. I haven't seen this article. I was looking at other ones. I just love this statement. Posted on LinkedIn, informed the community the studio would not be greenlighting any further projects related to the Unknown 9 development. What community? You had 285 people. You could have gotten them in a Discord call. There's no one to even address. Listen, guys, I know you've been feverishly waiting for more Unknown 9 development news, and boy howdy do we have some bad stuff for you today. I'm sure none of you saw this coming, but they pumped the brakes on us. Explained the decision was made following the failure of the studio's ambitious and courageous first project, a new IP with a rich transmedia universe, and acknowledged the game didn't come near the company expectations because the debut title massively underperformed. He confirmed the IP didn't warrant any further exploration. Before its release, gamers thought Unknown 9 Awakening was a mix of Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, and Forspoken. Who thought that? Shortly after the franchise announcement, Bandai Namco Entertainment acquired Unknown 9 Studio to undertake the ambitious project. Unfortunately, part of Hort's statement confirmed several staff members would be made redundant, including back-office employees, and given severance packages, further health benefits, access to counseling services, and proactive career planning support. CEO added that the affected staff would be assigned to one of Bandai Namco's IP projects where possible, stating the work was shaping up very well. Unfortunately, this is Reflector's second round of redundancies after a wave in November 2024. Jesus. Even though Unknown 9 Awakening flaunted amazing stepping powers... What is that? Amazing stepping powers? What is that? Shows awesome stepping powers. Can Can I see? Are these the stepping powers?
Battling high blood sugar, here's a piece of avoid drinking cold water.
Oh, here. Stepping is the ability to project one's mind into the consciousness of another by way of the fold. While stepping, one has access to the weaponry, strength, and intellect of a given vessel and may fully control their actions. Man, they're really trying to make it sound cooler than it is. She stepped! Holy shit! Didn't you play this game on Steam one time? I did not. I've never played this game. I will, though, because I want to be able to experience before it's lost media. Kickstarter. I guarantee at least one person watching this just had a PTSD flashback. I just induced trauma with a single word. Kickstarter's a platform that's no stranger to scams, that goes together like peanut butter and jelly. That's not to say that all of them on Kickstarter are scams. In fact, some incredibly great projects have been the result of successful Kickstarter backing. But ask anyone out there that's ever put a few clams behind some projects, and I guarantee you they'll tell you some horror stories of how they've been burned. It is a platform that can send shivers down your spine for all the lost money because you bought into an idea and then it never came to fruition. There's no guarantee what you back on Kickstarter will ever even really exist, and there's never any real repercussions to the scammer should that unfold. God rest the soul of Michael Superbacker and the Air Umbrella. At least that story has a somewhat wholesome conclusion, but on the whole, Kickstarter is a platform where you get some good and you get some real bad. And now in the age of AI, Kickstarter has never been worse. It is in a brutal position for people to identify what's real and what's fake. I'm reading every day about more and more disgusting uses of AI. It is basically technology that is exclusively used to exploit people and mislead people. Quick side quest here before diving into the Kickstarter state and how awful it is thanks to AI. I read a wild story today about a DoorDash driver who was using AI-generated images to pretend as if he delivered the food to the customer. So I believe that he was using like Google Street View. So he brought up the address and brought up the Street View and would take the image of the person's door and then AI generate that door with their food there and then marking it as a completed delivery. So the scam is they AI generate the front door with their food there as if they had delivered it. They cash it in basically and they're able to do that instantly. Fucking nuts. I also was reading something about a construction company that was using AI-generated images to pretend like they had finished projects in order to secure more contracts. It's completely out of control. And in Kickstarter specifically, last night on stream, we did like a quick dive to see the most popular projects on the platform to see if they used AI. Spoiler alert, they all did. So it is extremely difficult to even know what's real and what's fake with what you're backing on Kickstarter now, it seems. It is so fucking absurd. I'm now curious if everyone is pitching Kickstarter products with AI videos to make it seem more professional. I actually haven't checked Kickstarter scams in a while. I bet that's a very common thing now, though. Let me see. I'm just going to see what like the top funded projects are at the moment and see if there's any AI video for it. All categories... Popularity. So the most popular thing right now is called Pick Pack. Let's see.
What can I think?
We all have too many and choosing them is a nightmare.
This doesn't look like AI.
They're basically trapped on our phones.
But the song sounds like it's Suno generated.
Is there any better way?
Oh, wait. Is that an AI voiceover?
Is there any better way? Meet PickPack, an e-ink album that custom feeds your
That's definitely AI voice. So I'm pretty sure that was AI Suno music and an AI voiceover. At first I thought it was just a very unenthusiastic guy, but it's just an AI voiceover. This is literally the most popular project on Kickstarter right now. Just went to the #1 and it's instantly usage of AI in the pitch. So yeah, safe to say it looks like Kickstarter projects have pivoted to now using AI to make it seem more professional. If only the coolest cooler came out now. Oh my god, these fucking names, brother. These are blasts from the past. The coolest cooler. Oh my god. No more charming videos of the guy turning around saying, "Oh hi, didn't see you there." Yeah. Well, it's just the death of, like, everything authentic. I want to hear, let's go to the second most popular and see if it's AI. Maybe this was just like a truly unlucky time to hop in. The second most popular project is called the World's First Desktop Aeroponic Plant Ecosystem.
This is iZesty, a desktop aeroponic plant.
Immediately AI voice. It's crazy. Oh my god. Is everything on Kickstarter all AI now? This is number 3 most popular.
Hello everyone. This is your old friend, Titanier.
It's good to see you again, Titanier. It's excellent. It's been too long. It's always good to see an old friend, Titanier. Oh my god, it's despicable. What the fuck? Yeah, so Kickstarter looks like it's all AI now. Just checked Indiegogo, it's the same thing. Oh, I'm not surprised. Indiegogo was always even more scam-oriented than Kickstarter. But now, just for the sake of a little bit of fun, let me see. Let me sort by most popular there. I bet that one's ballistic. So it looks like the most popular right now on Indiegogo is the Foldio 4, the bigger, brighter, better foldable photo studio. Let's see.
Hey, Kickstarter, we're back. Since 2011,
Oh no, man. Everything is so cooked. And it's not even Kickstarter. Well, they probably have it on Kickstarter as well. They're probably double fisting on the crowdfunding. 400k raised, by the way. Yeah. I mean, it's never been easier to scam. AI has made scams easy, instant. Yeah. Not surprised. This just reminded me, have you seen the most recent Kickstarter scam game? It's called Puff Pals Island Skies and raised $2.5 million. The guy behind it basically took the money and went into hiding. You're telling me something called Puff Pals Island Skies raised $2.5 million? Even without knowing it's a scam, I'd hear that and would never even consider putting money into it. Let's see, Puff Pals Island Skies, huh? Wow. This looks even worse than I could have imagined. $2.56 million here. A wholesome life simulator game where you can collect, farm, customize, and explore new lands with cute and fluffy puff pals. And pre-order the game. Let's see the pitch. Excellent aspect ratio here. What the fuck is this? Hello? Pardon? Okay, we'll just go full screen. This take place in heaven, or what's up? Grow and customize your very own farm. No AI voiceover here, this must have predated the wave. Very cool. Not my kind of game. So what happened? You said the creator went into hiding. So he took the money and ran? See the comments. 9,000 comments. Requesting refund, requesting refund, requesting refund, requesting refund. Hey, got some bad news for you. Doesn't work on Kickstarter. There's no obligation. And no one's coming to help you. Learn from the air umbrella. Most recent update is May 20th from Fluffnest. Let's take a peek. The development of Island Skies has been incredibly challenging to say the least. For the past few years, we were under NDA with a third-party studio and couldn't discuss many of the things happening behind closed doors. However, now that other parties have made some of that information public, we can speak more openly about what's happened. After Kickstarter, Fluffnest entered into a milestone agreement with Roommate Studio to develop the features necessary to deliver early access based on the GDD we created for the campaign. Agreement was for $1.1 million over the course of 1 year. This will leave around $500,000 of wiggle room, approximately $1 million from Kickstarter. I don't give a fuck what happened. What happened? This will leave around $500,000 of wiggle room, approximately $1 million from Kickstarter. I don't give a fuck what happened. What happened? 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 Problem with management, wasn't ready for early access or alpha. Alright, where things are now. As we approach finalizing the new agreement, it became clear Roommate's senior management does not have a clear understanding of the project's current state, how much work remains. Because of this, we can't trust that the issues we've already faced won't reoccur. We've informed Roommate we won't proceed unless their leadership presents a plan to directly address these issues and commits the necessary resources to Island Skies.
This Kickstarter might be the biggest scam ever, and their CEO is allegedly running from the law. See, a while back, this viral plushie company called Fluff Nest announced that they were making a brand new life sim game called Puff Pal's Island Skies, and they raised over $2.5 million out of their $75K goal, mostly by selling limited time plushies that you could only get through the Kickstarter. And Puff Pals looked pretty legit, with trailers showing a lot of the core features already working, so naturally the community trusted the team. But what they didn't know is that by the time the first alpha playtest came out, Fluff Nest had already burned through all the Kickstarter money, with huge chunks of it reportedly going to
so
plushie
classic
production instead of the actual game. And when their plushie business
that always
collapsed in early
happens.
2025, well, everything spiraled from there, with hundreds of orders going missing without refunds, the Puff Pals trademark expiring, and even the game's website ended up getting shut down. Now, the CEO, named David's been hit with over $2 million in lawsuits from his former employees, the banks, and even the outside studio that they secretly hired to make the game. But while he's been allegedly dodging service and refusing to show up to court, the backers are left getting ghosted on social media.
Very cool, David. Very interesting. So he tried to outsource the game to another studio to make it. That still didn't work. Man, I tell ya. If you can't trust Fluff Nest, who can you trust? Selling plushes of your game before the game even releases is wacky. Well, this is the first I'm learning of this whole company and scam. But based on that short, it looks like the plushies existed first, and in order to drive interest and money to the Kickstarter campaign, they were offering the limited plushies. So it was for their already established plushie business, which ate shit earlier this year and shut down. Seemed like they were a legit business before it went tits up making this game. Maybe. Or maybe this was always the plan, David's nefarious scheme.